Okay, and we're recording, so welcome back to the Voidheart. And as always, we're going to do a bit of a catch up. And because I'm a lazy GM, I'm going to get Chris over here to give me a quick catch up of what went on and
Yeah.
what's going on.
I don't remember what we did.
Yeah, you do. You did some crazy stuff. I believe you killed the Duergar shaman woman.
Okay, yeah. So we just climbed out of the
Yeah.
Forge of Fury, didn't we? Up the huge ladder,
Yeah.
following the Dwarga, and they led us to their castle, basically that boring block just stuck in the middle of the Underdark.
Yeah.
And they introduced us to their king. Though
Acne, yeah.
Tumble smelt something fishy going on, like all these empty cages. So he quickly dashed off and to investigate, made some excuse like going to the lavatory, and discovered his people imprisoned. Jumped to the conclusion that these were still the same dirty Dwarga he's been trying to hunt, and was attempting to free them. Meanwhile, negotiations went down in the Grand Hall. There was a meeting that held place to form an alliance and bring them to the surface to hopefully come work as miners. And I think negotiations went well until that the soothsayer came to find me, didn't they? Who was that? What's her name?
Grimax.
Grimax,
Lady
yes.
Yeah.
And a couple of others saw her take me away. Mern came to my rescue and hacked her off the tower and fell to her death.
Go Mern. The only time he's really killed anything.
Meanwhile, I'm drowning in a river, and he's like, can't see Tumble anywhere. Well, I'll go back inside. Took care of the body, threw her into the river that I was drowning in. That was great. That was a lot of fun. And he found some other little bits on her. And what else then happened after that? We managed to make it back all the way, didn't we? We were led to the surface.
It took about 3 days, I believe. And you met a farmer from the Bahamas commune. He was all like, Yarp, welcome to the West Country, Yarp. Would you like some water? And stuff like that, yeah.
That's right. And then we made it back to Dolas Keep, where we did a few bits of downtime. And then shit started to hit the fan. Was there not visions?
Yes, we did a. I'll do this part. We did switch to Vagor, a new character traveling with a Dragonborn as his pilgrimage led to the three giant swords. And there the spirits spoke to both Morash, the Dragonborn, and Vagor, the Firbolg, and gave them direction of where their destiny is taking them. And Vagor and Morash headed off to Lord Arliade. Not Arliade, I keep saying that because of last session. Lord Dolas Keep. And they met with Pete. And Pete entertained them while waiting for Dolaf to return. And that's when they did return. And I believe you guys were talking to Vagor and Morash. Morash revealed that he's one of Arliaden's friends from years ago. Even though Arliaden had no clue about him. Of course he wouldn't. And that's when all of the candles were snuffed out. And the air began to turn to a frigid, cold-like state. And then the doors burst open after you heard some groans and gasps and a scream. And standing in front of you is this shadowy, wraith-like creature. Well, more like floating in front of you. And his eyes are kind of like deep skull sockets. But the way that you're looking at him, you can see that he's probably just wearing a mask. And because it doesn't look like it's actually a full skull, like he's undead or anything. Looks like he's wearing some sort of porcelain kind of mask to hide whatever is behind there. But I believe he also began speaking, and at that moment, a shadowy bow begins to appear in his hands. And I believe Dolaf last time went, well, I'm going to shoot him!
That was exactly what they said. He just kind of turns into a physical kind of form. I was like, that's a go sign for me.
Everyone roll initiative. Let's do this.
Apparently I don't know. Apparently I just trip and twist my ankle.
Oh, hold on, let me just fix that.
Only I'm still in the kitchen making sandwiches.
Holy shit, you've got 14 decks. Plus 14 decks, that's crazy.
Who has what?
Oh, it's the tiebreaker on these sheets. It adds the whole decks rather than the.
Ah, okay, interesting.
I think I have one more to roll, right?
Morash.
Holy shit. Double 20s.
So, we begin surprisingly, with Todd, Arlie, Aiden, you're staring at this creature in front of you. What are you doing?
As he attacks, he's got a bow.
No,
yeah?
he's got a bow, and you see there's like this black smog billowing up around his ankles, and his voice is echoing out, and he's just saying, "Morash, it's time to settle old scores."
From here, Angar, you piece of shit.
You don't.
He's gonna cast a spell.
So you suddenly remember his name, do you?
About this, to be fair, I did send you a text message.
Oh, did you? I didn't get to see it. I haven't got it.
Hang on 1 sec. Let me just fry his ass.
Nope. Arne, no. I'm afraid
Okay.
not. Okay, so you're going to cast Lightning Bolt. Nice. So, Arlie Aiden, you bring your hand up, begins to crackle with lightning and energy, and as you surge it forward, Angai just shakes his hand and it dissipates into magical energy.
Always were a slippery bastard.
I will click it so that you know. He counterspells the lightning bolt and it just fizzles out around him. And he just turns to you, Arlie, and he goes, "You should have known better. Pathetic."
No better. Dead.
Okay, so also can Morash... Oh, no, he's not here, but Morash and Arlie Edding, can you both make wisdom saving throws? I will roll for him. Oh, God, that's not good. Oh, hey, we'll go with Morash. What the hell? Natural 20. So you're both okay. So, Arlie Aiden, as you are firing the spell at him, suddenly your head begins to rack with terrible pain. You begin to get images, visions run through your vision. You're standing on a cold balcony overlooking a busy Nordrak city as Ileana slides up next to you, and you take this opportunity to steal a kiss from her. Morash, however, falls to one knee, looks up, and you see his arm begin to throb and grow visibly larger. You see that the leather and the restraints around it and the belts are beginning to kind of like look like they're bulging, and Morash is going, "Ugh! Ugh!" And he stands up, rages. You see, like, he just bellow to the ceiling, and he just charges forward and goes to attack Ango with his halberd. Yep, and he just begins to batter him about. And you see, it's half sliding through this Wraith's form and half kind of dissipating it. But Ongai's Wraith form seems to be just swirling back, reforming as he goes. Mern, you can hear the chaos around the corner, but you have no clue what's happening.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna run out and check what's going on, of course, then.
And of course, you see the scene described to you. You see this Wraith. Did you not roll, Tumble?
No, I just didn't go onto the table. Put it as 10.
Okay. And what is Mern doing?
Yeah, seeing the situation and seeing fighting happening, it's pretty clear what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Cast Bless on Morash, Dolath, and himself.
Okay. Anything else from me?
Nope.
Okay, so it's your other character's turn, Vagor.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Yeah, of course, because it's new. So, Todd,
I need to switch sheets.
can you resend that text then? Because I haven't got it.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Well, first of all, let's see if this works. Yeah. Okay.
So, War Idol. When you summon the War Idol, choose a type of damage. What damage are you choosing?
I think we'll go for. Let's go for fire.
Nice choice. Are you going to drag it onto the... Yeah, nice. And there's the Totem of War, people. So, just describe to everyone what they see when you use your magic.
Yeah, so what happens is that you just feel a little bit of a rumble, and then this totem just comes crashing through the ground upwards. And it seems to be emanating some sort of aura from it.
Okay.
Which allows anyone in the area, which I realize is not listed on the actual ability, what the range in the aura is. I'll give you that in a sec.
Okay.
Can do 1d6 extra fire damage with their attacks. Once per turn.
Excellent. So basically, it buffs people that run into melee, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think the range is not that small.
Hopefully not.
It's a 40 feet sphere. So it extends 40 feet either way from the totem.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can you stick that on the totem?
I could.
Fuck! We get the point. You can take it off now.
That's not visible to me.
Yeah.
Not visible to me either.
The entire room.
It's the room.
Yeah, the entire room. It's huge. It's got
Oh,
like...
is it 40-foot radius?
Yeah.
Not...
40-foot radius sphere.
Yeah.
So it's
okay.
something like that, basically.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pretty big.
So does Vagor do anything else on his turn after seeing this ring?
Yeah, so give me a sec, because I of course completely forgot to check the options. I think that can happen. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
And after that, Vagor will cast Hex on Angai.
Okie dokie.
And
What ability?
let's do Strength.
Strength. Okay, you pick strength. Okay, the hex layers upon him, and you feel it infest in his soul. And as you begin to concentrate on it, you can feel the cold, necrotic kind of magic seeping out of this creature. And then he takes his turn. He floats about 3 foot up into the air, roars out, and as he pukes this void shadow out onto the ground, and it spreads forth from him. From the table outwards, there is now a 20-foot radius of what can only describe as smog echoing out into basically filling the whole room. So it covers Vagor, Dola, it covers everyone. And then he uses his bonus action to void teleport here.
I did have one more thing to do, I think, on my turn, sorry.
Okay.
Which is that the totem will swing at Angai.
Okay.
Because it gets to do that.
Let me check for you. I'm afraid that's a miss.
Alright.
Yeah, it goes to... It's like... just.
Big or smash.
Yeah. So he puked out that. He's moved up here. He's going to situate himself near the fire. And that's the end of his go. You guys are all covered in this smog, by the way. So...
Okay.
Okay, so Tumble, your go.
I'm guessing I'm not covered in it.
No,
being
not
like
yet,
that.
but... of course, you don't know.
Okay. So I walk around to here and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I see through the door all this black smoke. Can I see Angai?
Yes, you can see this. The only thing I can describe is imagine a ring wraith from Lord of the Rings, but with no legs, just floating there with a bow in its hand.
Can I use the hide action first as a bonus action?
Yeah, you may.
Okay, I'll try and stealthily hide behind the door.
Nice, 17. It's good.
Are we in a stony environment? Technically?
You are technically in a stony environment. Would you
Yeah,
say that
kind
your
of.
keep is stony, Dolaf?
I would say it's stony is of dwarven construction, I believe. So
Yeah,
it's quite stony.
Stony camouflage then makes that a 30 effectively.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and shoot an arrow from the darkness at him. Right. So, short bow, yeah. You can... Oh, hell yeah.
What?
Nice. What's going on?
What ammunition are you using?
Ammunition, check, because I do have now, I've got like loads of +1 arrows, haven't I?
Are you using them?
I've got +2 arrows even.
Are you using them?
Yeah, I'll use a +2 arrow, because I've got a couple of those.
Okay, now roll damage then.
Alright. And I'm also going to add sneak attack as well.
Yep, of course.
Sneaky, which technically rolls twice, so...
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Alright, so all in total... So that should be 11, 12, 13,
A lot.
13, 23, 29, I think.
29, nice. You can see it is none too impressed by that, by the way. And and as you fire, come out of stealth to actually do this, its eyes, whatever it is, and whatever it could use for its eyes, lock onto you.
I'll quickly duck behind the wall to have full cover, hopefully. Actually, yeah, I'll duck that one, yeah.
Okay, Dolaf, this smog is cold, and it's creeping around your legs.
Ooh, that's tasty.
Yeah, first things first, I'm going to have to run back into it, but I'll head up the stairs, or start heading up the
Okay,
stairs.
so tell me how many squares you move.
Hold on.
Damn, that's...
Okay. After 10 foot, you need to stop.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you will notice.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, so first thing you notice is a stabbing cold sensation rush up your legs as you begin moving. You take a total of 11 necrotic damage, and as you stop, you feel blood seeping out of the wounds around your ankles, and you realise you're in some sort of trap.
Okay, I then immediately nope the fuck out with face step.
You are
up the stairs,
literally just out of range as well.
and then I'll take a couple of shots at him from a higher vantage point, hopefully.
Slightly a higher vantage point. Doesn't give you advantage, I'm afraid.
No, I didn't think it would.
Nah.
But, you know, we gotta do these.
Yeah,
things.
you got to at least try, right? You got to at least try to get
I
your
will
advantage
try
out
and
of me.
sharpshooter him as well. Let's have a go.
Okay, go ahead.
Nice.
A 23 is definitely a hit.
That's
So how much?
27 then.
Yep.
And seeing as that was quite effective, I'll try again.
Mhm.
Ha, lovely.
How much is that?
Fucking hell.
Exactly the same.
Oh my god! Christ
Off
almighty.
to a good start.
Yep. Okay,
Very.
so at the end of your turn, Dolaf, Angai uses one of his legendary actions to shoot at you.
Hey.
So, does a 14 hit?
It does not, thank
No,
you.
and the arrow seeps into the wall behind you, and you see it clash straight into the wall. And as you turn to your right, you see a coldness creeping out of it, and a smoking tendril kind of like undulating out of where the wound had hit in the wall. Sorry. So round up. Sorry, Ali Aiden.
Hey.
Yeah, it's your go. You're a bit confused by the vision that you've just had of you stealing a kiss from Ileana on a balcony.
Hey. Confused about his spell not hitting as well, so don't move through the fog. Gonna fire again.
Yep, that. Okay, I will make his dex save. He got 10, so I'm assuming that's a nope.
Burn.
Okay, so how much? 27. Same. How else were you guys doing 27 damage?
We agreed.
Yeah, like, okay, the lightning bolt goes through his chest and then cracks against the stonework behind, and you see he looks down at his wound, looks up, and then uses his legendary action. I forgot that you had them in the first round.
Literally
Oh.
everyone has done 27 damage, right?
He then
I did 29.
fires back at Ollie Aiden. Ollie Aiden.
Crack your toilet.
That's
I did 29 because of the +2 arrow.
Ah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Why'd you go and ruin it, Chris?
Sorry.
Okay, so Ollie Aiden, as you fire the lightning bolt, immediately Ungai spins up in the air, twists into a vortex, and fires an arrow out that strikes you in the chest for 17 necrotic damage. And you also, with your sharp perception and how close you are, Dolaf, you notice as the arrow hits Ali Aiden, it sinks into him, and then you see a rushing flash of energy reach Ungai again. It comes back to him, as if it comes back to him. You see the wounds that he suffered begin repairing.
Oh, okay, don't get hit.
Okay, so also can Ali Aiden and Morash both roll wisdom saving throws at the end of Ungai's turn? As he brings his hand out and goes, "You will remember." What did you get?
8.
Not good.
Fucking yeah, Morash is just like holding his arm, but he's trying to hold it in, and you see, but there's shadow appearing through his left, through the marks and the bulging straps, and he's looking at it in fear. And however, Ali Aiden, inside your head, suddenly you feel an expanding amount of energy. Everyone notices Ali Aiden's eyes turn black as he screams, and smoke begins billowing out of his nostrils, his ears, his mouth, and Ali Aiden Suddenly, you begin to remember another vision. You remember a huge snake mouth yawning wide and open. You remember Morash going, "Do it! Do it now!" And your hands reach out, and as you begin to cast, there's an explosion of blackness. Ali Aiden, you fall to the ground and take... Oh, fuck. 1 necrotic damage. Oh, nice. That's at the end of that. Man, it's your go.
Yep. Well, Dorothy, have you remembered to put your bless on?
Nope, nor have I got any fire damage or anything.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Ah.
Probably all, since my turn, apply fire damage as well.
I'll let you do it. You can all roll a d6.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So 6, 10. Yep. Oh, balls.
You're all rolling a d6, so...
Only if you attacked in melee, I believe, right?
Weapon
Right,
attacks,
yeah.
not
Yeah.
necessarily melee, but weapon attacks.
Weapon attacks.
That 4 is wrong. Sorry, that's for attack rolls, not damage from bless, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, so ignore that. Ignore the 2, sorry.
yeah, okay, got it. Let's give him back 2 health.
Right, then Mern runs up the stairs.
Yep. Can you make... How many squares did you move?
From here?
Yeah, so after 10 foot, you'd realise if you want to stop.
2.
So, yep, you take a certain amount of necrotic damage. That amount. You take 13 necrotic damage, and that's when you start to realise that whatever you are in is slowing your movement and causing you to take pain. Feels like you've got brambles and needles sticking all up your shins.
Can I see roughly where the area of this is?
Yes, it originates from where Ungai originally was, right next to the totem, and it spreads out at least in a 20-foot radius. So Dolaf is currently the only one away from it.
Right, okay. Well, he can do what he wants to do from here, so I think he'll stop.
Okay.
He's going to cast... Oh, let me make the... Hold on. Before I do anything else. And Bless is gone, great.
Yeah, okay, bless fails.
Now, in typical Mern style, miss horribly with the spiritual
Yeah,
weapon.
as you go to cast...
Someone next to him.
Yeah, as this go to straight to Vagel, the spiritual weapon appears and just phases through him. At the end of Mern's turn, however, Ungai is going to use one of his longbow legendary attacks.
Yeah, before that, I think Mern wants to do something more, maybe, and... no.
Okay, so does it? I'm not going to ask. Okay, so Dolaf, you get an arrow straight to the chest for 17 necrotic damage.
Ow.
Yeah, but you notice once more the flash of energy as you see whatever damage you guys have managed to do to Ungai begin to repair. Now it's Vagel's go.
Yeah. Oh my god, first. How much is the height difference between the floor
About
and the
5 foot.
where he's standing? So you could melee up.
Yeah, you could melee up it.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Well, the totem's moving.
5, and you see that the totem starts like wobbling a little bit at first, and then it starts moving.
What the crap? Movable totems.
It is a movable totem.
Yeah, it just goes and begins wrecking up Dolaf's
Like
front room.
sliding.
Like,
Oh, man.
Just see how far it can go. Okay. we'll get to about there. And that's what that's. And Vigor goes to shoot with the short bow
Okay, cool.
at Angai.
Okay, so you notice your hit strikes Unguy, but it just phases right through him. And hits the wall behind.
As in, I missed, or
No, you hit him. I'm assuming you don't have magical ammunition or a magical short bow, so...
well, I'm doing 4 fire damage. at
Okay,
least.
4, yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
And
Did it?
2
Did it?
necrotic.
Oh, did the arrow just pass straight through him?
It did, yes.
There was the 2 necrotic damage from Hex as well.
Yeah, oh, he's not immune. Yeah, I thought he was, but he's not. He's not immune to necrotic, so, yep, 2 damage.
Alright. That's it.
Okay, so Unguy, let me see what you can do. In fact, I will just... He turns to... I'm going to say he's going to teleport... I wonder if he can get there. 60 feet, so... Hello.
No, no.
He sinks through the ground, appears in the kitchen right next to Tumble, and goes...
Uh-oh.
and just says, "It's time for you to die." And he uses his full barrage of multi-attack and everything on you.
What? Shit, okay.
Okay, so... So the first one misses you, sinks into the wall. The next one hits you for 13. And can I make you have a wisdom saving throw, please?
Sure. Is this a magical effect?
It is.
I have advantage, apparently. I think Gnome Cunning. Yes. Alright. Wisdom save. Flip and flip. Where is it? There it is. 18.
18 is a pass. Okay, so he then, as the arrow hits you, he reaches out of his graspy, kind of like tendril-like fingers, places a hand on your forehead, and as he pushes you back, your mind begins to reel as psychic energies blast you into the ground. But you just manage to grab his hand, shove it to the side, and roll out the way as he turns and goes, "I will have your mind." And he's to float after you. You realise that if that had hit you, you probably would have taken quite a bit of damage. You can even feel the blood running from your nostrils currently.
Alright.
It's your
So
go.
Don't take any damage that
No,
round,
no,
then.
you passed the save through.
Sweet, awesome. Okay. Well then, I better pull out my short sword, trusty lightning short sword, and yeah, go for an attack. Is anyone else even near me? No. Man's kind of. Is he stuck in the darkness though, man?
Mern is kind of standing in the darkness. Yes. It's a 20-foot radius, and it starts here. So
Okay.
he's literally
actually,
just in it.
I might pull out my short sword ready to attack him, but wait until I've got back up before I attack him.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, I'm ready to attack him with that if someone gets near him.
Okay. So if someone gets near him, you're going to attack him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Dolaf.
Alright, well, that really hurts, so we're going to start with one of them.
One of them is a second wind. Yes, that's nice.
And I'm pretty sure I can see him through the door there.
You can, yeah. He's literally his kind of his backside and his shoulders. You could just see that.
Nice, exposed target, so that calls for sharpshooter, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh!
you know what? And I'm going to trigger a grasping arrow on it as well.
That's not 27.
That's not 27.
That's 52.
So how much is that damage?
52.
Fuck!
To be fair, the first damage box is 27.
Yep.
Holy. Okay, so you've hit him, and as it struck him, you see it's blown part of his shadowy like behind off, and Tumble in front of you. You see a glowing, like not radiant. I would say if darkness could glow and spin, that's what it looks like to you inside his cavity of his chest, and it seems to be beginning to reform. Would you like to take an attack?
Oh, if it's something that clearly needs
he's
to be
down,
stabbed.
but he looks like he's going to
Yeah.
reform instantly if you don't do something.
Okay, yeah, I will take that short sword attack.
Fucking hell, the amount of damage.
I'm not even done. That's my first attack.
Okay, yeah. So you actually miss, I'm afraid, Tumble, as you strike out.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing begins to turn to a wispy smoke. But okay, so Dolaf, you can. And I'm afraid that as you fire down towards this heart that's floating there, you miss, and the arrow shatters against the ground.
What the hell is this thing?
Yeah. You notice, Tumble, if you hadn't tried to at least do that. Okay, so is it the end of your go, Dolaf?
No, I action surged.
Oh! I'm afraid that you miss again.
Of course I bloody do. Where's that goddamn bless when you need it?
Is that all of your... Is that 22? 22's a hit.
That's a 22. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so you did 14, yeah?
16.
16. Oh! I'm afraid...
Plus 1d6.
Oh, yeah, plus a d6.
Ah, plus d6.
You can actually do it plus the 2d6 because that would have applied to your previous attack as well, I guess.
True,
So
true,
that makes
true.
it-
Well, yeah, but he was
Yeah.
downed up.
Yeah, it
That's
just goes straight through this crystal that's floating there, and you just hear it... And it seems to have shattered the outer layer of whatever this void thing is floating there. Start of the new round, Arlie Aiden.
Where the hell's the guard?
Oh yeah, at the end of my turn. Guards!
Thank you, I was waiting for that!
I assume they would have heard
No!
something by now.
Three of them,
No.
by the way, I got to roll death saving throws for 3 of them. You may actually lose some.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Okay, so Arlie Aiden.
Where's this smoke start, Liam?
It starts just here, and you are literally just in it. If you want to know,
I can-
it's spike growth.
Yeah, no, I thought you might have cast that, the shady cunt. Right.
A bit bigger.
Yeah.
I think.
Can I move? Or
Sorry, what was that?
only move 10 feet, or can I move as much as I need
Oh,
to?
you can move as much as you need to, but you don't.
Is that-
Technically, without a check, you don't know what the spell is. So you wouldn't even know. But oh wait, you would see Mern
Roughly.
move. So yeah, if you moved out of that, that's fine. You're going to take some damage though.
That's fine.
So you take this amount of necrotic damage.
Yeah. This looks about right.
Okay.
Hey,
Are you still up?
I am just...
You begin trudging through this spike growth, void bramble sticking to your ankles, ripping your shins apart. You see Arlie Aiden is looking so bad at the moment. Okay.
you down. How long did it take you to worm your way to Ileana's side after everyone of character left her?
Nice. He can't roll dexterity saving throws. He's just a heart.
Is the spike growth still there, by the way?
Yeah, currently.
Done.
Currently it is.
Ah,
Okay, so
so lame.
yeah, he can still do it, I'm afraid. Not until you kill him with death saving throws. So Arlie Aiden blasts him, which is the last one needed. And as lightning begins to charge it, Tumble. You notice the lightning reach around this void heart. It explodes, and then there's this tiny little dot of blackness in the center, and it begins to spread and spread and spread. Can you roll dexterity saving throw as he turns into a Hunger of Hadar?
Shit, okay. Oh no! Rolled like a 2, but 9 in total.
Yep. Okay.
What is this guy? It's just like the finishing Predator nuke.
Yeah. I mean. Okay. You take. Immediately, you take 2d6 cold damage.
Yeah.
You take 9.
Am I able to?
No.
Am I able to uncanny dodge it?
No, it's an AoE. If you had evasion, I would let you. Okay.
I have that, or no, I have that one. No,
And well,
next level I have
because
evasion.
technically combat is over.
Ah.
But Tumble, you run out of it quickly. Just let's get you out. The spike growth, of course, ends, and that's when about maybe a minute later, you all guys watch in horror as this black sphere then just deteriorates, and there's nothing left of the kitchen.
Oh, what, like a black hole?
Yeah, like a sphere of annihilation type jobby.
No!
Just finished making dinner.
What a fish! Right, someone's got some explaining to do. What the hell? I leave for like 1 minute to go prepare a meal, and then this happens.
Explain. It's very, very good to see you again, old friend.
One's alive.
What is going on? Please, everyone, let's take a seat. Discuss whatever the hell just happened.
None of your guards died. They're badasses.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Yeah, swing these doors open.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happened to them.
Okay, yeah, you see them all passed out on the ground. Some of them have those cold necrotic wounds all down their body.
I help them to their feet.
Yeah, okay, they're unconscious, and all the guards come rushing out. Pete comes running around. He's got half of his like horseman gear on. Felosio has her greatsword drawn, is trying to drag her fat ass up towards the main hall with her greatsword, going, "Pete, you're drunk! You are drunk!" And he's like, "I'm not drunk!" as he drops his spear and slips over his own saddle. And he's like, they all come bursting into the hall, seeing the devastation around. Okay.
Jeez.
So what?
Before anything else, Leiden, you seem to have taken a beating there. If you would just raise your arm for a moment, I'll fix that a little bit for you.
Sorry, was that at me? I didn't hear that.
It was, yeah.
For some reason, Arne's really quiet to me.
He is.
I'll talk directly into the microphone if it's better.
No, that's not.
Not quite.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so you see that Vagar walks up to Arlene and says, "Just sit down a moment. You seem to be hurt. Let me have a look."
Thank you. It's been a long while since someone has tended me medically.
Wow, okay, so you all notice that Ali Aiden is speaking completely different.
You regain 6 hit points.
I can see Chris's like curiosity in his beard stroke. Yes, roleplay amongst yourself. Be my guest.
So,
Kimmel! That's you, that is, Liam.
Who are you? Who are you talking to? Sorry.
One of the guards.
Kimmel?
Camille.
Which one?
There's a guard named Camille.
Yes, but which one? I can't see him.
Emil, even.
Oh, Kimmel. Yeah. Okay. So he goes, "Yes, my lord," and he puts up there. He goes, "I'm sorry, I wasn't here on time. By the time I'd heard."
It's fine. Just double the guard. I want people on watch now.
I shall wake up most of the militia. Sorry, my lord. And he turns around, seeing the devastation. Pete comes.
Yeah,
Pete comes rushing
Big
in,
on thought.
and he's like sitting down, like, "Oh man, I missed the fight." And then Felosio comes walking in, slams her greatsword on the table. "Has anyone seen Corky and your brother?" And she points towards Tumble.
No, I haven't.
Have you checked their room?
No, but surely they should be around here somewhere if they'd heard this. I mean, do you see?
I'll go run up and try and find them.
Make an investigation check. The place is huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, after a minute or so, the totem just sinks back into the ground, disappears.
Okay.
20.
Tumble. You find them not in their room, but in one of the side empty rooms that's still being decorated. Urki is on the ground unconscious, and Corky is crying over his unconscious form, trying to cast Cure Wounds on him, but it's not working.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck!
Look out.
Shit! Fuck! Tumble, please! Bastard! The thing appeared! Urki tried to fight it, and look what happens! And you see there's like a black mark across his shoulder, like what you saw on Dolaf and Arliana when they hit with the arrow.
Quick, let's get him downstairs. I'll pick him up.
Fuck!
if I
I'm
can,
not
and-
that strong! You do it too! And she grabs hold of his like sides.
Yeah.
She's cursing as you begin carrying him downstairs.
Quickly take him down, lay him down on the table.
So yeah.
Something's happened to Urki.
Yeah, everyone notices that Urki is kind of like been placed on the table, and as you guys were talking amongst yourself, Tumble brings him down with Corky. She's just trying hard not to swear. She's standing there, you see her gripping her hands like this, and she's going, shit.
Anyone do anything?
She goes,
Little I can do. If Corky can't do anything, Mern.
Man,
This gentleman here seems to have a way with healing. Send him out here his way.
but man, please help me. Restorative spells aren't working. Fuck! Shit!
Like, so what do you expect me to do then?
I don't know. Just
Try anything. Revivify.
he's not dead. And you all look towards Urki, and his chest is rising up and down. So
I was gonna say Vigor just goes over to have a look.
okay, he's been hit with one of the arrows that Angai had used, and it obviously downed him, knocked him unconscious.
So it would seem that he is actually fine. His pulse is steady, his breathing is normal. Perhaps he just needs some sleep.
She like leans onto him and goes, I don't know what I would do without him. Fuck!
It's pretty nasty to me. He's taking one of these arrows. What the hell is this?
You all notice that Morash has been rather quiet and holding his arm, his left arm. He's taking.
What's up with you?
Whenever they are around, the Red Riders, the things made of void, my arm acts up. And Arlie Aiden, you kind of get the feeling that the same thing happened to you, but in your head.
Yes, it is a recurring problem, isn't it? Angai's presence.
Aliaden, Morash, please, you need to explain this to us now.
Well, Morris says, take a seat. Grab a horn of ale, and I will explain all.
I do so.
Okay, everyone gonna sit down and enjoy a horn of ale while Morris tells the story?
Whilst
And have a look to see what's
whilst
left in the
Urki's
kitchen.
body's on the table.
Yeah.
As long as he's breathing
He is,
and
yeah.
he hasn't not actually dead, that's alright.
At that point, Arlie Aiden's eyes kind of glaze over. He looks at the gnome on the table and says, "Oh, what a delightfully garnished elephant we're having!"
No, come back to us, Alien.
I think this one is on you, Morash.
Okay,
Want to go anywhere else?
alright, so let me explain.
The void. It existed before life. It was everything and nothing. It was not evil nor good. It was within this nothingness that sprang forth divinity, a beacon of light that allowed life to exist. But the void is like water over metal. It rusts and corrupts anything it touches. The void wants life gone. It wants everything to return to primordial nothing. Its purpose is to eradicate and destroy. We knew that our land was being corrupted by it somehow. Normally, the divine light of the stars keeps the void at bay, but our land had a sickness, and the void, it was getting in. Me and my friends, Ileana, Skade, Angai, Tang, sought out how to repair and fix the damage done. In our journey, we came across Lord Arlie Aiden. He was studying the void alongside his master. He had a plan to fix it all, so we followed him to the edge of the world, to the body of the world serpent. Its rotten mouth lay open, and inside, a small portal to the void. Arlie Aiden attempted to close it with his magic, but the void, it fought back and lashed out. And as it attempted to grab Arlie Aiden to stop him casting the spell, Skadi sacrificed himself to stop it. With Skadi gone, Ileana flew into a fit of rage. She charged the creatures breaking free from the portal. Angai followed her into the combat, ever the one to kill his way to the situation. I followed shortly behind as Tang began to prepare his magic. The void, it sucked Ileana and Angai into itself as they fought around it. I immediately leapt towards the portal and reached into it with my left arm and hand, grabbed them both, and brought them back. There was an explosion as Arlie Aiden finished his spell, and the void portal closed. I woke up some hours later to find that Lord Arlie Aiden had vanished, and that Skadi and Angai were dead. Then as the next year or so went by, I returned to my home of Ravens College, and we went our separate ways. It was some years later that I'd heard that she'd killed her way to the position of High Queen, and that she'd committed some unspeakable acts in that process. And then I'd heard that she'd invaded your land of Rhineland. So I set off on a pilgrimage to find the truth.
Alright, welcome back from that really dramatic and overly serious monologue from Morash there.
Holy shit, it's a campaign!
Good old Morash's serial killer voice. Yeah, me messing around with pitch and stuff. So does anyone have any... Morash slams his horn down as he finishes it and says, does anyone have any questions?
Where do you get your leathers?
Spoils from the people I've killed. Then he begins to laugh.
You a murderer?
No, of course I'm a hunter of evil. This is why I'm here. My destiny has brought me here to fight Angai once again.
You said you closed the portal, so why are we still having problems here?
We're having problems because whatever it was infected her. I have this theory that the void is still inside her heart and is controlling her actions ever since. We may have closed the portal, but it's still inside our planet. It's still here in our lands. Through her, through Ungai. And then he looks down at his arm and he says, through me.
Great.
And me!
Yes, and you, Arliaden. But I don't know what happened to you after that event. You disappeared. I never heard from you again. I went looking, my friend. I never found you.
Shed some light on the situation. I spent many a year searching down the perfect prime rump elephant in the wastes.
He turns to the side and goes, obviously the void has infected and hurt Arliaden. His mind is not what it used to be. He is not who he is meant to be.
Yeah, I think we can all tell that.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious. He's not meant to be how anyone should be.
Wrong, ape, or no one interrupts me at the table.
Silence.
Please speak, Arliaden. He's gone again.
Todd?
Click my fingers. Now, wave my hand in front of his eyes.
Opposable thumbs!
Oh, god damn it. We're not getting anywhere with this. So, where is this... wait, did we actually kill that guy then?
No, you did not.
So what happened to him? There's some sort of black heart or whatever it was.
See, Ileana has these riders, these red riders that she infects with the void on purpose. Turns them into monsters like Ungai. But you could say Ungai was the first. Perhaps the strongest of them. Have you guys ever heard of a lich? An undead creature that stores its soul away to become immortal.
A what?
Yes, this is something I am...
Try to steer clear of him.
Where is his soul?
Ungai is the same.
We've seen a lich.
It's what?
Before, in the thing, and then it turned out that he had a bear suit or something.
I really should take a look at that brain of yours, Arliaden. Let's get you back to your old form.
Can someone wielding a giant axe do that? Or polearm, whatever it is?
No, I meant... There is someone that could help Arliaden.
Who?
Kolka Bigby. And Dolaf Tumble, you remember you met him. He came to Dolaf's wedding.
Isn't he like the wizardy type?
Yes, he's a sorcerer from another world. He was the one who introduced Arliaden to us in the first place. Said that Arliaden would know how to stop this gate, this portal. And he did. Now, I'm afraid that he is lost, that he looks towards Arliaden. He's probably doing something weird, like trying to stand a pencil up on his tip.
What exactly is...
He's got a knife and fork out, and he's about to take a chunk out of Urki's arm.
No! Now!
They just kind of hold an arm up to like the fork, like no.
Yes.
He slaps his arm every time he goes for it.
Okay. What was that, Vagor?
What is wrong with his brain exactly, Morash?
I do believe that just like... Well, when Ungai and Ileana fell into the portal, they were completely submerged by the void. My arm was submerged by the void, and it is nearly useless. Whereas Ali Aiden was the one trying to shut it down. I believe in the explosion that maybe a splinter or a shard has managed to get inside him. Perhaps his brain or his head. That's what... There's enough evidence there to say so, I'd say.
And what would you suggest would be the remedy for this?
Morash then fills his horn, begins to drink. I don't know.
Alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know. But, look, friend, Vagor, I'm not an expert in this. I mean, I've travelled all of this way just to try to find someone who is.
But Big B might be able to help.
Big B might be able to help.
You
He's
say
a
he
hard
was
man to
Ali
track
Aiden's
down.
master?
What's that?
Was he his master?
Ali Aiden, you do know Kolka Big B, you do know that he is the guy that teaches you. Also, of course, he's your lover, your teacher, your mentor, blah, blah, blah.
Quite mistaken. You do not find him, he finds you. You must find the finest toad and croak thrice.
A what? A toad?
Yes,
No.
Tantor.
Okay, Dolaf definitely knows that the last time he said he went to do that, he disappeared for 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah. On the saner side of things, my father has met him before. I could perhaps ask him if he knows his whereabouts.
That's when Peter pipes up. Pete goes, am I still travelling to your father's? Or what?
Yes, but hand me that
He
letter.
hands you the letter. He goes, are you penning a new one?
Just a postscript.
Yeah, I know that Pete's voice is Russian, but I can't be bothered at the moment. He goes, okay, alright, fair enough. I'll make sure I saddle my horse. And as he turns, he does like 3 spins and then he falls over and has to run off again.
Still drunk.
Yeah, Felocia just shakes her head like, what's that?
No offense, Dolaf, I just don't think he'll help very much. Your father is a child playing mahjong with marbles while we there sit there playing chess with the universe.
Like, good analogy.
Dolaf stands up and leaves. It's just gone.
That's quite an intelligent thing for him to say. Yes, of
It
course.
kind of makes sense.
If anyone ever wants to understand insight, you can understand Ali Aiden. You can roll insight, and I'll have Todd explain it.
I could totally roll inside. I'm actually proficient in it.
Okay.
Let's try it.
Oh shit!
Yes, you must tell him, Todd. Tell him what you meant.
How do I whisper?
Here's
/
Vagor
W
as well.
to...
And then T,
Yep.
and then.
So
you should do your
Vagor
name.
also understands what you meant.
Is Ottie in the room?
No, not at all.
She's not in.
Nope, and she hasn't.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, you don't need to explain to me. I think I know. Anyway, I think as a player, I got the meaning behind what you were saying.
When I say here, are you aware of where I am?
Oh no, I am not. You're in the bedroom, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, she is lying on the bed.
Is she alive?
Looks to be alive. Yes.
Good. Sleeping?
Not.
That is
Unconscious?
a pure. Oh, sorry, that is a purely translated script right there, Tumble.
Got it.
Not
Got it.
quite, Dolaf. Ottie seems to be sleeping with her eyes open, and there's a thick film of perspiration on her brow.
That doesn't sound good.
Nope.
I'm not really good at medicine, but
She looks possessed to you. As you roll her over, you see that her eyes roll back into her skull.
Jeez.
okay. I'm bringing her downstairs. Pick her
Yep.
up, fireman's carry, and running down.
Yeah, you run downstairs. Everyone sees Lord Dolaf, of course, appear downstairs, runs straight into the hall, and you see he's carrying Ottie, and she looks a little bit worse for wear. She looks like she's trying to get changed into her nightgown, but she's still got her travelling breeches on below.
This is why I checked on my relatives first.
Oh, what happened to that
Yeah, I'm just
dog?
going to lay her down next to the other
What happened to that guard?
relative. Man,
God.
can you help?
Well, I'm not quite sure what I can do, really.
Try something, anything, please.
Restoration?
Yeah, that would have to wait until tomorrow, I'm afraid.
Great.
But well, let's just have a look to see what's wrong. That would be from Mern, by the way, not from Baker. But...
Okay, so yeah, Mern, you realise that they both, Urki and Otti, are suffering from the same kind of fate. You both look at the symptoms. They've got like a fever. They're sweating. They've got shallow breathing. Both have been. As you quickly search around Otti's body, and you know it's a bit immodest, but you do see that she's been stabbed slightly above her buttocks with another one of like Angai's arrows. You see, she's probably been shot in the back as she's looks like as she was changing.
How rude.
Mm-hmm. And you realise it's probably some sort of wasting disease or magical waste that you know is forcing illness upon their bodies and overloading it.
Right. Well, definitely something to take care of, but not something for today. I'm afraid. I need to keep a close eye and see how they're doing. If they get any worse, then we might need to find some other way of dealing with this.
Okay, man. I trust your judgment.
Yeah. You see, Felocia has disappeared and is making herself busy by bringing cushions and stuff, and lifting their heads up so they're not just leaning against a wooden table. At the moment, she applies like you know she brings cold water from outside. Wrings out some towels and places it on both of their head. And it's basically helping Corky and Mern tend to them both. And Pete comes running back in, he's all saddled and set.
Here's the message. It is imperative it gets there as quickly as possible.
Larinthia. Yes?
Yes.
Good. Okay, I will go through my home city and get a boat. I do not want to risk going through King's End.
That is a wise move.
Mm-hmm. Goes with it
Go now.
falling to Ileana. Yeah, I'm going. Okay, are you sending a message to the Bradford Fort? You said last session that you might.
Yeah, Otti did. She penned it.
Yeah.
So
One of the guards still has it. If you want him to still go.
Yeah, he can go as well.
Him and Pete ride off just as the evening comes to about 9. One of the servants walks in, a timid half-elf female, probably in about her 15th year, and she says, I know this is not the right time for me to ask, but are you all hungry?
The kitchen got destroyed.
I can make some
Good
up
luck.
from the pantry.
That would be good.
Yes, make some
They'd be
food.
welcome.
Bring some ale as well. Are there any wounded amongst you?
None of the servants, my lord, but we are tending to the 3 guards that are hurt in the common area.
Okay. Yes, if you could bring some food and then take some respite, all of you.
Yes, sir, my lord, your grace. And she just kind of like disappears, runs past like the spherical hole that is in the kitchen, climbs back up the other side, and then begins mixing some stuff up. And within a
There's actually like
there's a
like
proper.
wall
It was
gone and stuff.
it turned to a hunger of Hadar and then expanded into a sphere of annihilation.
Fuck hell.
I thought it just like deleted what was there and then disappeared, but it actually took the stone and stuff.
Yeah, it
with
took the stone, it took everything with it.
Cool.
You now know, Tumble. You don't want to be near Angai when you kill him.
No.
Vega at this point speaks to Dora and says, "This is your wife, yes, and this is your brother." Looking at Tumble.
That is correct, yes.
Tumble.
Really a different species, you moron!
What?
Please ignore him,
You.
Vigor.
It is your brother, no?
My brother, yeah, Urki.
Yes.
I was just thinking we need a mentally
wife.
unstable comic character in our group.
It's his wife, yeah.
Yes, his wife and your brother.
Right.
There's 2 people in front of us. Yes.
Correct.
Right. Well, you should not see your family suffer. I will try and see what I can do for them.
Thank you.
Thank you, it would be mostly appreciated.
Nice. Okay.
So 9 and 10 hit points.
I'll tell you what that will do, Arne. So basically, they were going to have to make saving throws tonight or die. So applying the healer's kit, means that they forego that for another 24 hours. As you basically spend the night tending to them.
Yeah, it is magical healing, not Nickler's kit, by the way.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Just in case that matters.
Yeah, no, it does. What is it? Oh,
This is a class ability rather
oh,
than,
okay, yeah. Sorry, I didn't read it properly.
regular kit.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You apply the poultices. You manage to get their fever down. You manage to prevent them, of course, from expiring. Okay, yeah. The sphere of annihilation wasn't that big. Jesus. It was 10. It was 10 foot, like a 10-foot square by the door. like 10 foot 10 by square, like right there.
Just black hole the kitchen.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
imagine.
right.
Yeah, kind of like that, but further south, of course. That's there.
Wow.
I was gonna say, Christ, he doesn't explode that big. Even though it would be badass if he did.
Well, opinions may differ there.
Yeah. Okay.
Bad and ass, but not badass.
Okay, so as the night goes on and the food is brought out, the guards are also fed, and like you said, kept double the guards, so they're kept awake all night. Some of them do double shifts.
That's good.
Look, we need to return to the Underdark. We need to find Ileana. We need to kill her.
Morash says she's probably in her capital. It's the place she conquered when she came here, the first place. She went. I think she renamed it to Ragnarok.
Alien, put that away.
Right. You need to tell us everything you know about Ileana Morash.
Okay, well, in the beginning, we knew her as a cleric of Odin. She sought knowledge, and she was good and righteous, and if anything, she stopped me and Angai bickering, and she was just... I can't believe this has happened to her, of all people. She was the one...
Trust
What was that?
me, she was never that righteous.
What would you know? I mean... and then he kind of silences himself as he realises what he said, and he goes, yes, I guess you would know her better than most.
Brain, stay there!
Anyway, Ileana was a cleric, a priest, a holy woman. She spent most of her days training and studying. And it was only when that fateful winter when the frost giants turned up and we found out that the Void had sent them that we decided to go close it for good. You know, many adventures happened between that moment and actually closing of the portal. I mean, friendships were forged, lovers were made, revenges were sought upon, but especially with me and Angai, I mean, we fell out quite a lot. Especially when I realised he was a no-good dirty thief, but it's okay. We forgave each other, and we banded together, and we attempted to close the portal, which we did. We succeeded, but I should have, and then he kind of like, you can tell he blames himself. He says, I should have just left them in the void. It would have been a mercy.
You did what you thought was right at the time. You can't be blamed. What do you know of Ileana after these occurrences?
She wouldn't see me. I knew that she was planning to marry into the High King's family. I think he was the prince of sorts, but after I wasn't even invited to that wedding. And then within a year, the High King had died. The prince, her husband, had died of an ailing disease. And then suddenly...
Sorry, Morash, the king of what realm?
Nordrak.
Aren't they your
What?
enemies?
They, well, yes, essentially. Only ever since they started invading our lands.
Yeah, they've always raided every summer, but nothing to the fact that they never conquered your lands until now.
Great. So she sided with the Nordraks.
Well, she is.
And probably now, like, what, their leader or
Yeah.
something? Their queen?
Yeah. Morash says, well, I am a Nordrak, and so's Ileana and Angar. We all come from the land of Nordrak. The only one of our group that didn't come from Nordrak was some very strange man by the name of Tang, and he had a talking head. But that's another story.
Is she the one behind this drive into our lands?
Yes, for sure. If she is infested by the void, which I believe she is, then what she's going to do is try to consume everything. Conquer.
Well, whilst I agree with you, Tumble, killing her is clearly what we need to do. It'll be no small feat. We've been trying to drive the Nordrakians back for years now. We've made no headroom.
You say they're using the Underdark, like tunnels, to get around now. So...
Well, you figured that
Yeah,
out.
That knowledge will certainly help us. That's part of the message I've sent to my father and the troops on the front line. That will aid us knowing that knowledge, but I fear it won't be enough.
So where do we go?
What to do?
We can't just waltz into the capital. We got to use
Exactly.
her tunnels to get up and in them. Use her tunnels against her. We'll find a way
very
to sneak
nicely
into
on
the capital.
Knock very nicely on the door, was that?
No, Ali Aiden. Just no. I don't think your illusions get hold of.
Apologies, Vagor, what is your part in this story?
I do not really have a part in this story so far, I think. Perhaps in future. I was traveling along a road where Morash was also traveling, and he suggested that I come along in this direction, and seeing as how I was headed this way either way, I agreed.
Okay. This is a lot of information to take in.
Well, perhaps it is then best that we retire. If must be, I will watch over these two during the night.
I'll stay here with
They
you.
are well.
I wouldn't wish to leave her, so I will also stay.
I do suggest that probably they be moved to a bed.
Yes, if you let us go there now. Follow me to the south, and I'll lead them round to the infirmary.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes. I knew an infirmary would come in handy.
Yep.
Okay, so Ali Aiden, what are you up to? Because I noticed that you've walked away from the meeting.
I left to return to my chambers.
And what are you doing in your chambers for this evening? Anything important that I need to know, or are we going to skip ahead to the sleeping part?
To send you something.
Was this whisper? Todd, is this a whisper or a text message?
Whisper.
Ah, okay, cool. Does mean that whoever's watching can see it as well. Okay.
Vagor, we have herbs and salves here. I don't know if they'll be any use to you, but please, use what you need.
I shall have a look at them and use what I can to ease their suffering.
Thank you.
Okay. Tumble, what are you up to?
I'll be staying with Erky and Corky in the infirmary. Make sure they live through the night.
Yep. What? Todd, really?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
No, no one goes into Ali Aiden's room tonight. Just not roleplay that, eh, Todd?
Oh God.
I want to know what you're doing with that brain.
It begins with W,
Oh God.
has a
never
K
mind.
in the middle, and ends with G. That's as much
Yeah,
clue as I'm
yeah.
giving you.
Waking, yes.
Working?
Working, that definitely.
He's working. And then probably waking.
Yeah, I think at this point now I'm just kind of sitting on the bed in the infirmary nearby to Otti, drinking deep from the horn and thinking on the events until I fall into slumber for the night.
Okay, cool. Morash takes a room, infirmary, bed. And he spends most of the night tending to his arm. Are you staying in the infirmary, Dolaf?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there kind of like watching, keeping an eye on things, drinking, until the point, where it gets so late in the night that you've had a skinful and you just fall into unconsciousness.
Vega, are you staying in the infirmary?
Yeah, I'll go and collect some of the herbal supplies and make some new poultices, and beyond that, I'll just sit in a chair here. And,
It's to the south of where you are. You're in the servants' quarters there.
oh, sorry. Then yeah, just sit here in
Todd disappeared.
one of the beds,
Okay.
and just monitor their breathing and stuff every hour or so.
Okay, well, before I get to the event in the infirmary, Chris, what is Tumble doing this evening?
He's staying in the infirmary as well.
Okay, nice. Okay, so some point during the night, as Morash gets up in his sleep, he sits there, looks at his arm, and begins to unbuckle the straps. Dolaf is half cut and about to, but in the slight candlelight, you're blinking through to see in your dark vision, as Morash, all of you can see this, undoes parts and straps on his arm, and then you just see it slop to the ground, like literally just as if it falls off. Hits the ground. He goes, "Ah!" And then you just see,
what the hell is that?
You just see another one grow through. It's kind of like
I draw my sword and go over like a thing that just slopped on the ground.
Small
and,
at
put it
first,
in my...
and then his arm regrows, and then he begins to as you walk over, begins to unbuckle all the levers and stuff on the one on the ground, and then reapply it to his current one. And as you approach, all of you can see that it's blackened with rot and decay. And he goes,
Don't plan on putting that thing back on, do you?
No, I do not. Burn it. And he's just wrapping stuff up on his left arm.
Yeah, we will definitely burn it.
Yeah, I'll shift it onto the blade, take it to the forge, just chuck it into the fire.
As it sizzles, you see its hand moving on its own. And then it just kind of burns up and curls like a spider does when it dies.
Yeah.
The void has done you no favours, friend.
It happens when I'm around Red Riders too much. When the void on my arm is aggravated.
Can this spread to anyone else?
No.
Or is it just the people who are submerged in the void?
I mean, you could have been infected, Tumble, but you resisted its call.
Well, that was close.
He nods. It's best to always avoid getting close to a Red Rider.
Duly noted.
Unless you become a faithful.
Tell me more about these Red Riders. How are we supposed to defeat them if they just pop into little black holes every time?
That, my friend, is just Angai. He reaches over and says, Dolaf, may I have? And he reaches for the mead.
Yeah, I'll pass
he
it
drinks
over
and
to
goes, Angai is one of a kind, the original Red Rider. He creates,
How many of these Red Riders are there?
I believe, 7 or 8. I've only ever encountered 7, but I've heard rumour there is an 8th now.
Great.
You see, they're created by a ritual, but I don't know how or who does it.
I can guess.
One would have to assume Ileana, but this is most troublesome.
Can be done to reverse this process, do you know?
I do not. I'm afraid I do not.
And merely destroying their bodies is not sufficient.
Not normally, no.
So if they're like these liches, you say, do we kill them in the same fashion as a lich?
I guess you find the phylactery and you end him, or wherever he goes. I just know that during my research on them that Angai, stores his soul somewhere safe. The only way to kill him. The thing is, when you're infected with the void by a Red Rider, you turn into something called a faithful. And, well, let's hope we don't fight any of them anytime soon.
Where would Anguy store it?
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, where's a likely location he would store his phylactery?
Morris goes, if I knew that, then I wouldn't be here.
I'll jump in on that one then and ask my question. Have I heard of Morash's Bane?
You wouldn't. You would have heard that there was a new fort being erected near Brufford Castle Fort, but you wouldn't really know anything about it at the moment.
Okay, so it's new
Yeah,
then.
it's relatively
fair enough.
new.
I was going to try and history check it, but if it's new, then no point.
Mm-hmm. I'm afraid so.
Well, you knew Anguy. You can tell us a little about him, surely.
Mm. Well,
Does he have any favorite objects? Does he have a religion?
he does have a
Anything?
favourite object. You see, back in the day when we first met him, we went to this village, and the village revered him as a hero, even though we knew that all he did try to do was steal the gold from their bank. And what happened is him and his friend, they had an argument over who was going to keep a certain amount. And after that, I believe we killed his friend. And he keeps his friend's necklace. He did before he died anyway.
Great. So he was a scumbag in life as well as in death. So,
He had a redeeming qualities, but not many.
okay, so we have to find this necklace, you reckon? It could be a start, at least.
Any knowledge at this point is useful. I think we are going to have to explore every possible avenue to even hope to grasp to deal with this situation.
Mm.
What was his friend's name?
Oh god, Chris, you can't expect me to remember that. I'd have to log into the other account. He goes, Morris just goes, I do not recall.
Very well.
You remember the tiefling bard?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. It was remember he was in a metal band. It was like really, I can't remember. It was a really.
Yeah,
they were all
I
named
remember.
after metal stars. Do you remember?
I remember. Something like Alex, something.
Doesn't matter. We'll find out later.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, did he have a necklace on him when we saw him?
No. You just saw his wraithy form, like.
Okay.
You know that. Notice that, of course, that the wraith knew Arlie Aiden.
Yeah, he-
And Morris says yes. Arlie Aiden and Ungai used to go out and drink together quite a lot.
Hmm.
If only Ali Eden was not the way he is.
You know,
Maybe we should start with that then and find this big B.
Yes, perhaps that is one option.
yeah. Morris says,
Might be some different ways of dealing with that.
look, Arlie Aiden would be the best way of finding Big B. I know that Big B was his mentor. He taught him everything. Maybe we should take his advice. I know it sounds ridiculous, but maybe we should turn thrice and find a toad or croak or whatever he said.
Alright, well, that's something for the morning. I'm just not going to barge in and ask for where I can find a frog.
Strange
Well,
things have worked in the past, I can tell you that much.
the last time I know that it, I believe, was in Oakhurst. Perhaps we could try there. If we are to entertain this idea of thrice croaking.
Ugh.
But as I mentioned earlier, my father was also taught by this man. I have told him everything in the message. Maybe he can provide us some information.
Yeah, well, till then, I really hope I don't have any weird dreams about frogs and shit. I'm going to sleep. Ugh. And climb up into one of the beds in the infirmary
Okay.
and then just close.
You go into bed then.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just trying to sort out the overlay.
seems like Urki's stable now, so.
He is indeed. I'm trying to sort out the new overlay because Todd keeps leaving and drawing in, and it's confusing me.
It's alright.
Is he back? Yes.
Yes. Apparently.
Oh, Todd. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to sort stuff out. There you go, sorted it. Every time he leaves, the cameras go all weird. So apologies. Oh, he's leaving again. No.
Is it his internet?
Hmm?
Is it his internet?
No clue.
Any of a few options, really. While we do that...
Maybe he's croaking thrice.
Maybe he is.
His internet's croaking.
There you go.
Want to wait for him before I continue, or?
Yeah, we're going to continue. Okay, so you've all gone to bed.
Yeah, once I notice that the breathing stuff has been stable.
Yeah,
for
they've been
Voidheart, so
stable.
Happy to retire.
Yeah, they're definitely stable now. Okay, so you spend all of you spend the evening resting, or what little rest you can get, that is. Especially Dolaf, whose, of course, new wife is looking rather ill. And in the morning, with the new rays of light, there's a loud kind of cacophony going on in the main hall, and you hear the guards are shouting. Dolaf, you wake with a slight hangover to realise that there's some arguing going on near the main hall.
Yeah, I'll dash out, find out what's going on.
Okie dokie. So as you dash out, you notice that the guards are all kind of standing with spears drawn at what looks like a group of Dwarga.
Where is this in the main hall?
In the corridor. Sorry.
Corridor.
Yeah, basically down at the bottom there by the gates, and you see they've got it's a crew of what the hell is going on here? Yeah, a crew of Dwarga who seem to have tons of building gear on them.
What is happening here?
We're here to tidy up the master's bedroom.
Come again?
The master's bedroom. I'm here to tidy up the master's bedroom. We were told there were some building works to be done, and we're here to do it.
Oh, that can't be right. I've not approved these plans. What's this?
Well, Lord Arliade.
I have not asked for anything.
Arliade. Sorry, Lord Aaronspire. He said that we should do it.
Right. Well, here's what we're going to do. Since you're here anyway, we've got some work for you. It's going to be a different thing though, because Lord Arliaden is, well, he's played a bit of a prank on you, as he's not the lord of this castle.
But wait a minute.
Come on.
We've already been paid.
Right, so then you should have no problem doing a different job instead, for the same pay. Right, on we go. Come on, this way.
What? No,
No, I'll just lead them to the kitchen and make them fill in the hole in the kitchen.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yes, okay, yeah. They begin to walk off and follow you, and you're like, and one of them goes, "Oh, what happened here? Look at the size of the hole. Did you have one? Did Arliaden have one too many to drink?"
Well, what happened really is that we had some pretty spicy food and
they begin laughing.
Just trying to lighten the mood.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, you're the one who's gonna marry the princess."
What?
Aye.
And they just nod with respect. Go, "Lucky bastard."
Yeah, well, I'll see about that.
He goes, "Nah, you are lucky. You're gonna," and then they nod and wink and.
Did you remember to bring the bag of peanuts for me?
What bag of peanuts?
Just a wild stab in the dark at what other information he would have told you. Which is, coincidentally, what Arliaden's going to get when I find him.
Okay, so, Arliaden, are you here? Are you here, Todd? Okay, we'll continue without Arliaden.
He said he had problems reconnecting.
Okay, well, we'll continue on.
I'm gonna return to RTC, show her how she's doing this morning.
Okay, so, Mern and Vagor, you could both make... whoever's got the highest medicine check. And you can do it with advantage, of course. Which one's doing it?
It's Vagor.
Okay, so Vagor eventually leans over them and determines that restoration magic, even a lesser one, would cure the disease.
Vagor, I'm not sure if you can tell, but how is my son?
Well, I did not realize. I don't know how many months pregnant she is this
She's
point.
like a couple of weeks.
Yes.
It's only a couple of weeks. I thought we'd been longer
No,
than
because
that. Jeez.
you set off a couple of weeks after the wedding, didn't you, to go to the forge? So
Yeah,
Christ.
so maybe.
Time feels like it's gone a lot longer.
Yeah.
Forget the question. My sense of time is fucked.
no, it's fine. I mean, Otti already told
Did
you.
your head looked at?
Otti already said to you that she felt like, you know, she knew. She got that feeling.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Well, what I can tell you is that this does not seem to be a very serious affliction, but nonetheless one that general means cannot cure nor can time. There will need to be some magical healing involved in order to rid both of them of the effects.
Okay. I have 2 friends here. They're fairly well versed in healing magics. I'll bring them, see if they can help.
Very well.
If you can guide them in what you know. Bear with me, and I'll dash off and find Corky and Mern.
Okay,
Yep.
Easy enough to find.
I did plan on, just so you know that I'm not metaing yet, I did plan on preparing Dispel Magic
I mean, yeah,
workers and
that makes sense for Mern because he's not unintelligent. Of course, he knows that.
And Revivify Endless Restoration. Yeah.
Just because he knows that he's going to have a day of healing ahead of him, of course he knows that he would be preparing those spells.
I'll say to him, man, I'll be like, yeah, if you've ever got some spare slots, you can always fill this.
Want him to fill your slot?
Right, somewhat. Some spare What are you talking about?
Some spells for this Ring of Spell Storing.
Ah, that thing. Yeah.
Does a ring of spell storing? Does it restore its slots on a new dawn?
No, it doesn't have restore. It doesn't restore
just
anything.
You just cast into it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then that spell is stored until expended. It holds up to 5 levels.
Awesome. So yeah, you've used the lightning bolt in it, haven't you?
I've used it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
For instance, it's holding up to 5 levels. You could easily fit like a Dispel Magic and a Lesser Restoration in there.
Yeah. Right. So then what Mern's going to do is he's going to try and cast Lesser Restoration to see if that does the trick, since the other things don't really seem applicable.
Okay, so
To remove disease.
it is. So as you cast as Mern casts Lesser Restoration, you see that who you cast it on first, Otti.
Yeah.
Okay, so she coughs.
Sorry, Tamil.
That's
I know you're my friend. This is someone's wife.
She coughs, and black liquid begins to spill down her chin, and eventually her eyes open and she shoots awake, and she begins to violently retch. She rolls off of the table, falls to all fours, and then begins retching even more until she upends basically all the contents of her stomach. And then she just looks up at you all, shaking, stands, and she just looks down and goes, "Why am I still in my britches?"
Yeah. Long story.
We've had a long night.
I'll grab a bucket.
Yeah, okay. Now that you know that, of course, Urki is probably going to vomit, you go grab a bucket. You learn your lessons.
Do you feel up to walking?
Yes, and she puts one arm around you and goes,
Let me help you upstairs. You can take some
explain.
rest.
Are you going to explain everything to her as you go?
Yeah, I'll take her back up to the bedroom so she can rest properly, and I'll explain everything on the way.
Yes, of course. Okay, so Tumble and Vagor, you watch as Mern cast Lesser Restoration on Urki. He doesn't make as much of a hack and a cough as Otti, but his eyes open, he sits up, his face goes purple. He asks for the bucket, please.
Yeah.
And then it just comes out of his nostrils.
God damn
All
it.
of this black liquid. Why does it keep coming?
What did you eat?
I didn't eat anything except an arrow to the face.
Yeah, well, You're doing a lot better than you were, at least.
Well, my French, I seem to be feeling a lot better.
Well, whoa, hey.
Oh,
Right.
Mern, my friend. I knew I could count on you, my dwarvish friend. Thank you very much.
And this guy as well, you gotta thank.
Oh,
There you go.
he looks up. Are you in your? You are in your Furbog form. You haven't altered yourself at all. He goes, He's never seen one. He goes, what the hell are you?
He kept you alive throughout the
I'm
night.
not being rude, Tumble. I'm just saying. I've never.
Don't worry about the question. It is fine. I grew up in the woods. People like me generally live there. I thought perhaps you'd be familiar.
I am not familiar. Not at all.
I am Vagor. Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Fragor. He reaches his tiny hand out and he's all covered in black puke. He goes, yeah, I should... And he goes towards his wife and goes, would you do the honours? And she goes, shit! And then prestidigitates his hand. And he goes, yeah, it is my honour. And then he reaches up to shake your hand.
Yeah, I'll half kneel and lean down.
Yeah.
Because of course I'm like 7'5" or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he goes, well... It turns to Tumble and he goes, my friend, my brother, you've been gone for too long. How long's it been now? Several days? A week? How was the forge?
Oh.
Come,
yes.
tell me all about it.
And,
Well, we got
Mern's
quite the
gonna go
hoard
and
of treasure,
find,
so...
Mern's gonna go and find Erladen.
Well, is he even here though? That's the thing.
No, he's not. So we can leave that for next time. I'll just whisper you what I want to
Okay,
do.
yeah.
I'll ask Mern, can he put a lesser restoration and a dispel magic in the Ring of Spell Storing?
That we'll need to wait for another day.
What?
Perhaps tomorrow.
Could he have done it like the night before?
Probably not. You didn't have them prepared.
Fucking hell. Fine. I'll leave it with you for now.
It's all right because if Dolaf says so, or you'll say so, you can have some downtime now. It's up to you guys. I just want to know what you're going to be up to. If you're going to take some downtime, go ahead. Events will proceed as I planned, whether you take it or not.
I think we're gonna do a small bit of research on liches and phylacteries. I think we're gonna probably do some research into what was it, Bigby, and his whereabouts. And we want to talk to Arlie Aiden, but we can't at the moment, obviously. So yeah, maybe if we go back to where was it again? You found the pool with the frogs and
Oakhurst.
Oakhurst, that's it. That's the one. Maybe we go back there, I don't know. But for now, whilst Arlie Aiden's like doing stuff in his room, we don't want to interrupt that.
Yeah, it does sound...
Nope.
It does sound like something's definitely happening in there.
Yeah.
Mern's just gonna walk in
Yeah.
anyway.
You're just going to walk... Okay, yeah, we'll get to this in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, in the meantime then, is there any books or library like he's in this keep?
I don't know, is there? I don't think there is.
Not to your knowledge.
Wasn't there
No.
the one where the fairy was being annoying? Wasn't
Yeah,
there the
hence
fairy?
not to your knowledge.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, it is Tumble. If he wants to go investigating, he can. If you want to roll investigate...
Well, I'll be talking to the group as a
Yeah.
whole, being like, look, we need to find out about what we can do with a lich. Find out if that's what we're up against. We need to know our enemy.
I think you're literally just talking to Vagor at the moment, because Mern's upstairs with Olyeda and I'm upstairs with Otti.
I'll be talking this over the downtime, like
Okay, yeah, so...
during the.
First of all, if you are taking downtime, you need to tell me how many in days.
Well, we haven't
Okay.
yet. I'm dealing with this situation, and I'll...
Yeah, because over that
Yeah,
over
that's
the
fine.
period of that day, Urki and Otti recover, make a full recovery.
Yeah, at least
Right.
one day, so I can actually fill the ring up.
Once that happens, then I'm gonna come back downstairs and ask to convene when people are ready.
Convene the fellowship.
Yeah, in the war room.
Okay, has anyone heard from Todd?
Which is
No.
I'll message him.
Yes.
Oh, he's messaged
Oh,
me.
what did he say?
Something happening with Discord. It's not letting me back in at all.
Has he tried?
Try using it on Mozilla Firefox
Has
or
he
something
tried
else.
turning it on and off again?
Probably
Okay,
not.
so
She's got a
so you're going to
restoration.
attempt to ask Corky to cast Lesser Restoration in the
Yeah.
spell storing ring. Let me see what she's got first. Yep, she knows it, and it is prepared.
Cool. Cheers.
But it is
Awesome.
the only level 2 spell she knows.
All
She's
right.
not a cleric.
She's a half priest NPC. I haven't actually given her levels in cleric. No.
All right.
That's fair.
Thanks, Corky.
She's like, shit. Yeah, of course. Go away.
Yeah, I'm going. Bye.
No, I love you.
All right.
Yeah, okay, bye.
What?
Nothing. Fuck.
Okay.
Wrong brother.
No, it's not. You remember?
I know.
Okay, that's that done. All right. Well then.
Okay, so Tumble, as you're leaving her room and she comes running into the corridor. Tumble.
What?
Fat.
What is it?
She comes running up to you, grabs your hands, both of your hands, and then kisses you on the cheek, and then she steps back and goes, "Fucking lame ass shit," and then she just runs off.
That girl. Seriously. She must drive Urky absolutely insane. Anyway, I'll is Arlene with us now?
He's not. He's still not on Discord, I'm afraid. So
Okay. Well then, we can't really do. Can't go.
I can answer from his perspective.
Okay. Well, we want to go to Oakhurst.
You all want to go back to Oakhurst.
That's if that's the way to.
Yeah, I mean, you had a message earlier to meet
gonna
at your
go-
earliest convenience.
Yeah, meet in the war room at your earliest convenience.
Tricky.
So Tumble, you've got a message. You're gonna be late to the meeting.
Yeah. No, because
Yeah, because
no, just go to the
that
meeting.
could
Yeah.
be super edgy.
Just go to the meeting and be like, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone convenes at the meeting. We'll say Arlie Aiden is, of course, present. So
Okay. What is it then?
Well, just thank you all for joining me, but I feel we need to discuss what we're going to do here. And, well, first of all, Morash and Vagor, I would like to welcome you here. I mean, you've done us a valuable service. You've healed my wife, Vagor. I thank you for that. And obviously, you have unresolved business along the same lines that we have new business now, so please, make yourself welcome and join us if you will.
Yes, I do not know for how long I shall stay, but for now, that seems fine.
The keep's doors will be open to you. Now, for all of us, we have many things to look at, and I, for one, I don't really know where to start, but we must do something here, so maybe it's best for now if we go our separate ways a little, do some research, find what we can. What are your thoughts, people?
I guess. I mean, we know Ilian is using tunnels in the Underdark, but we can't just go it alone.
No, I fear we can't. I'm going to make plans to attempt to arrange a militia with the local townspeople. We must have some kind of way of defending ourselves here, and that seems the best place to start.
Well, one of those things could attack any time, and they seem to be able to go through most things. Or at least this Ungai guy does.
Yes, they are powerful foes. It's why we can't rush wholeheartedly into these tunnels. We must take our time, prepare.
Just for the lulz, Dolef, can you roll a d10? I won't do
Sure.
it, you can. That's good. Okay, cool. Now continue.
Alright. So,
Nan, Corky, Urky, Cat, Vegor, Morash. Any insights that you will offer?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here and manage things as we agreed.
Mm.
Yes, that may be for the
On
best.
Ozzy.
You will actually be valuable service if I can raise a militia. They will need to be armed. Can I trust that you?
Of course.
Otti pipes up. My love, I will look after the castle in any of your absences. I've proved myself to you as a warrior and adventurer, have I not? Surely I am,
Of course,
I am
my
capable enough to run the castle in your absence.
I trust you wholeheartedly.
She nods. Says, then I shall attend to those duties whenever you are off doing your thing.
Okay.
And Tumble?
I've already said what I want to do, but
You want to do some research?
different
Whoa,
liches.
Rocket. When you do that.
Oh, I did.
No.
Oh, I must have missed the
It's
wrong
okay.
key. Sorry. I normally
Yeah.
do.
So Tumble, you wanted to do some research.
Yeah,
Make
I'll be asking.
a history check. Just so you could know like the local area and stuff.
Sure.
Did thou get? Oof. Okay, so the best you could ascertain is that you'd have to go to one of the nearby capitals to get a decent library, like Terentia or Beinstad, or even take a boat further east and go to Mern's homeland, Mern's homeland of the Dagon Islands, maybe Pucken or Bruckheim. And you just can't think of any of the small towns around you that might have a decent library. I'm afraid you can just all you can think of as the capitals. The best one would be Dolaf's home, being the capital of arcane knowledge, but they're all weak journeys.
Has Tumble voiced any of
Yeah.
these things?
Yeah, loads of times.
I don't remember hearing
You
it.
did.
Yeah, I did.
Well, if that is what you plan to do, come with me afterwards. There are a small library upstairs. There may be useful information there.
Oh, a secret library, huh? Why didn't you tell us when you had one of those earlier?
Because you wasn't here.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
I'm doing this for the group here. If we're up against a lich, I want to know what we're dealing with here.
Well, from what Morash said, they're not actually liches. They just seem to function in a similar manner in their undeath or voidlust.
Morash does pipe up before you leave, and he says, "Friends, I will go back to Forbaldia, and I will attempt to muster support
That is in the wildlands,
to the
correct?
southwest, some days' travel. I will tell King Grankis of what is happening here. I'll attempt to, anyway. I mean, he can't stand idle while Ileana conquers the lands around him, surely."
I'd hope a king would have better judgment than that, yes.
So I will leave straight away. Plus, you can do without me around, especially if Angai turns up. He nods, bows, and he says it was a pleasure to spend the night.
A pleasure
And I
indeed.
know-
As I mentioned earlier, you are always free to return.
And I know that my destiny lies with you all, but for now, I will leave, and I will find a way to help you from afar. He turns to Vagor and says, "Vagor, it was a pleasure to travel with you. Good luck on your journey."
Likewise.
He nods. "May the spirits keep you," and he walks off, leaving the fortress. before going, he does actually take a load of rations that Otti forces upon him. He's like, no, you will eat healthy. Here you go. And begins like wrapping up. And he's like, okay. She's like, and here you go. I know you like the mead. And gives him a horn of mead and some wineskins. And he's like, yes. Okay, thank you. And she's like, oh, before you go. And then runs up to him with more food that she'd managed to find in the pantry. And he's like, yes. Thank you, Odd Cutler. You're very nice. And then he gets on a horse that's been saddled for him and rides off.
Are there any more thoughts from anyone?
Well, there is not a very clear path for me to go on, so if you have something in mind that you could use assistance with, I'd be more than happy to accompany you. Otherwise, I will explore the surrounding area and just get to know the place a little bit.
Please feel free. We'll send scouts to attempt to find you if anything happens.
Ah, yes, very well. And Vegor goes to continue that. Says, if probably better than scout would be to, well, do you have some trained birds here?
You do not have an Eerie.
I'm afraid we do not. We've only recently taken this keep, but a few months back, and most of that time was spent in restoration of the place.
Ah, I see. Well, let's do it a different way then. You will find a bird perching on one of the towers here. If a message needs to be sent, simply give it to the bird and it will find.
And Vagor, you notice that as you do go to like leave, Naylor is flying ahead, and as you kind of like narrow your eyes to see what she's doing, she's speaking with Morash as Morash is riding off, and then he goes, ha 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 ha, you are so funny, Naylor, and then she flies off.
Well, if we are concluded then, Tumble, follow me.
Yes, okay, so Dolaf leads you upstairs, through his bedroom, through a side door, and then into an office, and then beside the office he pulls a book on one of the shelves, and in classic Scooby-Doo, revealing a solar. Just at that moment, Tumble, a small, what to you seems like an insect, comes buzzing straight at your face and goes, hello, oh, it's been a while, hello. And as it manages to stay still, it rests upon the nearby table. It's a small woman. By small, I mean she's probably only about 8 inches tall. She's got a set of diaphanous wings, and she's wearing some red robes with gold trimmings. She goes, do you like them? I had to cut them out the cloth in the corner. You know, because Dolaf doesn't actually buy me clothes, so I have to make my own. Oh!
I believe she is the familiar of the last month.
Yeah, my name's Aeon.
How she remains, I'm not sure, but...
Should let your fairies out in a while. They're going to get flustered.
She like goes to shake your hand. She goes, my name's Aeon. It's a pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure.
I haven't met anyone else in the house. I'm not allowed to leave this room.
Oh, jeez. How do you live in here?
I eat stuff that I find.
Like?
I don't know. Dolaf gave me a cake once, and Ozzy keeps coming in and giving me food. In fact, last night she gave me a thimble of mead, and I was fucked up.
Good to know. All right. Well, listen. We need some important information. Do you know anything about liches?
Liches? Oh, I know.
I'll leave you two to your
Okay, Dolaf, come back soon, please, bye.
I'll get the fuck out.
Okay, so I believe if we go back to the castle, you can actually see her. Like, I'll shift click you all to the room.
Yeah, I'll see now. Spied her in the little corner there.
There she is.
God.
Yep, and she goes, okay, liches. I know all about liches. I've seen loads of liches. Yeah, like, and she kind of leans up. She goes, you see here? She goes, come to the window, quick, look.
All right, I step over.
And she points towards a patch of weird green growth on the side of the wall. She goes, liches.
No. They're lighties, or whatever they are. I don't know.
She goes, no. That's what they are.
No, they aren't creatures of undeath.
Oh, like skulls.
Flame skulls? Yeah.
No, like skull. Zombies!
I see you got a skull here on the table. I'll pick it up.
Yeah, you see, my previous master was a bit obsessed with death. He did weird things to bodies.
Oh.
Yeah, and he had a weird name as well. But he was okay to begin with.
Let me see if he's got any of those old tomes lying
Okay,
around.
you can make an investigation check. And she's helping, so you get disadvantage. No, you get advantage.
I'm gonna try and find his old
Nice.
tomes.
Yeah, okay, so you find some of... it's called... his name was Liko. And he did study the art of necromancy. Seriously study it.
Right, perfect. Well, this should lead to some clues. Now, in his studies, I'm trying to make connections between creatures of undeath and the void, because they sound like they're two separate things, and I'm not too sure where the lines cross. So, yeah.
She goes, okay, I think I have the book for you. Okay. And she finds a study on all things dark and unnatural. She hands it to you.
Right.
Okay, and...
Okay, so I'll be reading this as much...
It's going to take you about 8 hours to finish the book if you want to read it back to front.
Yeah, over the downtime I'll read it and try to figure out the connections between the void, undeath, and how, if this is indeed like a lich-like creature, any information on them, like weaknesses.
So as the day goes by, and we'll get to what everyone else is doing after this, but you spend... Aeon's helping you. She seems to be just like dragging random books up to you occasionally. But as you finish the book, you realise that the entire study was about there's no similarities between the undeath, the lich, like all these creatures of undeath and the void. The void is completely different. Undeath wants to consume to exist. The void wants to consume for no other reason than destroying. It's just a force, an unnatural force. It's not... It has no intelligence. It just does what it does. The void, you find out, is pressed back by the magic of divinity. Stars. Magic. Gods.
Arcane spells.
Yeah, magic, basically. When it's not non-existent, the void fills its place. It's always there, ever present out there.
So you have pretty much light and dark, and you have like the void and magic.
Yep. And the void is also not immune to magic, but resistant. Very resistant to magic. Like as in arcane magic, but divine magic's totally different story.
Okay, so divine magic's the answer, really.
It says the radiance of God's face can defeat the void. It's the only clue you get from the book.
Interesting.
One of the lines is Brocker's spark from the anvil can fight it back. The others are like, yeah. And the others are... It's all metaphors for God, for starlight. It's all metaphors.
I'm going to see if I can relay this to any known locations on the map. Can we go back there?
Yeah, sure. We'll go back to the map.
Okay. Because Brock is... Was it Brock's?
Brocker. You can make a religion check if you want.
Yeah. I'm just going to look the map over.
I can just imagine this little grey gnome just poring over tomes in this dusty old office.
Religion.
Okay, so you know that Brocker is one of the gods of the Nordrak pantheon. That's it.
Is there any temples to this Brocker on the map?
Probably in Ragnarok, where Ileana is. Or from Mern's homeland, because just so you do know, Mern's deity of worship is Brocker.
Yeah. Wow.
It is.
Interesting. Well, then I'd take this to Mern.
So, yeah.
Picked up a clue.
What would Dolaf have been doing during today? And did you all decide how long you were going to take a downtime? Like, are we talking a few days, a week, a month?
Probably a while for me, unless something interrupts it or we need to do something. But I really want to wait to hear news from the capital. In the meantime, I want to be speaking to the alderman with regards to this militia.
Okay, so Samuel Yormond appears a couple of days later, and Yes, sir. I mean, I can arrange for all of the able-bodied men to meet up in one of the a thing, if you wish.
You can send them here, and I only want those that are willing.
Okay.
We don't want to force people into this. I mean, it's going to be a struggle here. I want them to understand what they're potentially getting involved with, so we will only take those that are willing.
Of course, sire. I will make sure that they know this. But you know, young men and the promise of adventure, you're going to get most of them, I think. I mean, they're boring farmers and peasants' lives sometimes just doesn't crack up, so...
Okay, well, they will be well trained. We'll see to that. We'll arm them as well.
Hmm.
Yes, if you could gather as many as you can.
Yep. I will too.
I also want to extend this on to our Duaga
Yep.
compatriots, because many of them mentioned that they were warriors previously, so...
Okay, yeah, so you met... your meeting with Agni Whitebeard goes very well, like, as in, you managed to get 8 Duaga warriors on your side, and you know that's gonna... They're worth at least 3 of your guards each. You mean, they got magic, they have fine warhammers, and they're all willing to fight. And you see, they used to be Grimax's men, but at the same time, you know, that's what they're born to do, fight. And if you just you could tell with a little glimmer of gold and gems, and you got them over to your side, loyalties could be fucked type thing.
Yeah, that's fine. They fought for Grimax because they needed someone to fight for. Now they don't have her. They'll fight for someone else. That makes sense.
Excellent. And Otti seems to busy most of her first couple of days bringing food to the Duergar. Also, she trains some of them how to shoot crossbows. Because some of the female Duergar are used to the subservient life, and she's girl powering them straight up.
Nice.
Yep. You see her, she's also down there teaching some of them songs, bardic magic, all kinds of stuff. And Vagor.
Yes, I'll be roaming the countryside and finding several places to meditate and see if there's anything of interest that
What do we roll here?
speaks to me.
Nature or survival? I reckon nature.
Are you sure?
Do you have survival?
I
Then
do.
roll survival. Oh, okay, so it takes about 12 hours to find it, but to the south of Fort Ehrenspire, you find the land becomes rough and hilly, and you find out that the land turns from like grass to scree and scrub, and then to pine, and you find a particularly vast area that seems to be saturated in spiritual energy. As you climb into the top of this valley, you see ice melt from the nearby mountains, like pouring over this ridge, creating a massive waterfall, and you see a rainbow sprouts from it. You see there's actually a passage leading from behind the waterfall into a cave system. Would you like to climb that way? Yeah, I mean, it's all been carved out naturally, and you can see some of it is unnatural and been carved probably by the elements, actual elementals. And as you peer behind, you're sprayed completely and sodden through by the time you reach the cave. But inside, there is a ever-burning torch on the ground. And the cave goes ever deeper, but this ever-burning torch that is situated completely on the ground, like stabbed into it. And you see that there's magic circles. By magic circles, I mean like shamanistic circles all around, and a central idol made out of marble and cut granite. No one's here.
All right. What's the idol? Do I have any idea what it represents?
You can make a nature check. Yeah, you can make it though. You're not quite sure.
Well,
Definitely the element of earth, but you're not quite sure who it's to.
right. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just sit there and meditate for a couple of hours before heading back.
Okay. One moment. Just type in. That's not the one I'm after. You know when you like, there's so many names in D&D, you just forget them.
Yep.
Okay, so after meditating for several hours, you hear a voice emanate kind of in your head, but it sounds like as if it's echoing into the cave itself. It's feminine and very, very warming and hot, like makes your heart fill with joy as it speaks out. Vagor.
Yes, who is this? And how do you know my name?
I know your name because I know all living things. What are you doing in my sanctuary?
Resting, mostly. Perhaps seeking contact with you.
Okay, and that's when, opposite you, shimmering, an image appears of a woman. Dressed in a white robe with edges of ivy. She has a stave that leads all the way down to a sickle, and you see vine grows in a circlet around her head. And as you stare up, you see her hair spills down in greens and all kinds of colours, and she sits and goes, "You can call me the Great Mother."
That's... well... very well, Great Mother.
Well, you are here at my sanctuary. Surely you have questions?
I came here to think.
Anyone?
To think.
Questions I do have, yes. Not sure if they are yours to answer, but I can ask them anyway. Well, there is a certain form of energy which I am quite sure you disapprove of, and it seems that perhaps me and some other mortal beings might want to try and do something about this. Would that be something you would be willing to assist with if you...
She steps up from the seat opposite you, kind of like the circle, walks around. She caresses the stone as she walks around, and you see, as she caresses it, she leaves a trail of life energy that blooms into fungus and all kinds of colourful plant life. She kneels down in front of you, goes, "Take my hand, Vagor." Brings it forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
the bit has not labeled,
Yeah.
and take that.
And then she leans back after only a brief second of holding your hand, sits back down, and she goes, "Slavery has darkened your heart. Until you breathe deep of the fertile field, I will not help you."
And if this energy that I speak of endangers the things you hold dear, what then?
She sighs. "I can see into your soul, Vagor, and I know what you seek is not to save the land."
But does that matter if I accomplish it nonetheless?
I guess it does not. She laughs and goes, "I've always had a weakness for mortals, always outwitting me, always breaking my guard. It does not matter, no. You are speaking of the void.
I am.
That portal was closed a long time ago."
Yes, I thought that perhaps you would have sensed some other disturbances.
"I have. But what squabbles happens between mortals has nothing to do with the gods."
Indeed, but these are not mortal squabbles, for the void still lives in this world.
"And if it is to consume this world, then it dies with it. I do not wish to see the land destroyed, but you must understand, Vagor, that it is completely against our laws and our rules to interfere. I can advise."
And perhaps then that is what we'll have to do,
That
if you choose not to interfere directly.
I look after many worlds. I see many fertile fields. I look over the grain as it grows on hundreds of worlds. This one, if it decides to destroy itself, collapse in on itself, there is not much I can do other than advise the people that wish to save it. Ask your questions and I will answer with all the knowledge that I know.
Well, first of all, we need to know how to understand the void. Without understanding, I feel there is no way of fighting if you do not know what you are fighting.
Not even the gods know what it is or how to defeat it. All we know is that our magic repels it.
And this is the wisdom that you decide to share.
Sarcasm is not befitting of you, Vagor.
Well, be that as it may, I find no other appropriate response to your lack of care for this world.
I care for this world, but I just don't care for the inhabitants of it. Once you die, and this place is free from life, like you, then it will regrow. It always has done, and it always will. She stands up.
You are not worried that the void will consume.
She grabs her
The world
scythe,
itself.
and she goes, puts it on her shoulder, as if like taking a kind of cocksure stance. Vagor, the void is gone from this world. It remains in small splinters inside mortals. When those mortals die, it will go. Whether you destroy yourself in the process has nothing to do with the gods.
Well, I guess you'll hold on to your opinion. I will hold on to mine. It's perhaps at some part down the line we will speak again of this.
She says, if you wish to speak to me again, come speak to me in person, in the Feywild.
Well, that is always a hassle, but if I must, then I must.
Yeah, and she walks forward again, and she runs her hand across your shoulder, and you get this vision of a calm, crystal clear lake, surrounded by mountains on the north side and forests in the south side. She goes, that is the entrance.
And
That
if I wish to find you,
that is where I'll be. Oh, before you go, surely we must exchange names. You do not know really who I am. You can call me Janeth.
Janet.
I haven't used that name in a long time, but you may call it me now. It pleases me.
Very well, Janet. I will take my leave,
Mm-hmm.
and I will, as mortals do, go and deal with my own shit. And then just walk
Yeah,
away.
as you walk away, you turn back and you see that she's gone, and that the idol in the middle sprung to life, covered in fungus and lichens and all kinds of crazy fluorescent plant life.
Alright.
Mm-hmm. You're not quite sure what to take of what you just saw, whether you were being lied to, deceived, or anything. You can't really quite tell.
Yeah, and I think they have a different opinion of what happened, but I'm not sure if that's true.
Fair play.
And I think with that, he'll just head back to Fort Aeronspire.
Okay, and meanwhile, back at Fort Aeronspire, we go back to Tumble, who's been talking to Mern.
So, you know anything about Brocka's spark?
I do. What is it you wish to know?
Picked up a hint that maybe that could be used against the void. A spark from Brocka's anvil.
Right, well, I can tell you what it is, but if you have the intention of getting it, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be such an easy thing to do.
If you know anything about Norse law, you just know exactly what we're talking about right now.
Sounds like a little spark. I mean, we're not taking the whole thing.
Right, so you... Just let me get this straight, right? So, you want to ask Brocker to come down, bring his anvil, and create a spark for you? And you
Well,
think
I'm
that's gonna
sure a
work?
spark's pretty easy to make. We make them all the time in the
No.
anvil. We just...
Can you make a religion check with advantage, just so you know? Because Brocker's Spark is the word for another thing. It's like a title for something.
Mm.
Yep.
Maybe.
Nope.
Nah.
I'm going to whisper it to you, and you can
Probably
choose what you want to do with the information.
Todd actually bet? Oh, fuck's sake. Cast the shit out of that, didn't I?
So yeah, I've sent you the message. You know what it is. You can just.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I imagined, sort of having a broad concept of. So,
Yeah.
You look like you know something.
I really don't think that's gonna happen unless you have a very good reason.
Well, okay, let's say Ileana takes over the world. How about that? Good reason?
I'm not quite sure if that's gonna do it, to be honest.
Okay, she finds a way to open the portal of the void, and it consumes all living things, and there's no worshippers of Brocker anymore. How about that one?
That might do it.
Okay, cool. So what the hell's the spark of Brocker?
Right, well, the Spartacus is... You perhaps imagine a spark as a spark from a flint, but in this case it's more the spark as in the essence.
Uh-huh.
It's purest manifestation.
So it's as rare as, say, one of your, like, divine interventions or something?
It's not as rare as, it's much rarer than that.
I love.
Does someone have it?
Does someone have it?
Sorry, come again, Chris? Brocker has it.
Does he gift it to anyone, like his champion or something?
That has never happened as far as I'm aware.
Well, it's about time he chooses one, because the world's
You
gonna...
have.
Not going to
You have read what I've put, right? Just. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Like, inside joke.
You may.
We'll get this shit out of him whether I have
Okay, he's
to...
being rather vague. Definitely vague.
I think that's just his interpretation, though. I'm not trying to be vague enough. Myrn isn't trying to be like an ass about this. He just.
I mean, it is his deity.
He's answering your
Yeah,
question.
it's his deity's most prized creation, of course. So.
See. Look, I'm not a petty thief trying to steal this thing. We want to lend this so we can destroy Ileana and her void corruption.
I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to argue that it's not a good idea. I'm just trying to persuade you that it's not going to happen.
Uh-huh. Well, who's... if it's Brockers, who are you to say that you won't lend it?
Go ahead and ask him then, if you think that's going to help.
Well, I'll need your help for that.
Right, and I'm telling you that it's not going to work.
Uh-huh. Well, have you got anything to go on? What have you done to, like, help the battle against the Void in this time?
That's not really the point. I've been working this my entire lifetime, and I can definitely tell you that a lifetime's work is not enough to earn such favor with Rocker that he would give, let alone let you use his spark.
Well, we're just gonna wait till it gets really bad then, and then he might consider it. The other thing I found out was something about the light from the face of God. That do anything for you?
You can make a religion check.
Yeah, I'm quite sure that's a no. But,
Throw me a bone here, come on.
Oh no! I was about to whisper the answer. You have no idea.
I haven't really heard of that, but then I can tell you that I've not really.
You don't really.
Any other religions?
Yeah, I didn't
got
think
no need
so.
for them.
Maybe I'll ask. Maybe Corky knows a thing or two. I don't know.
Yeah, you can go ask Corky.
Yeah.
Perhaps she would should know something about that, but I can tell you that. Well, if you think that the current situation would be enough for Brocker to give his spark to someone or to bring it into this fight, I can tell you that that's not very likely. I don't mean to offend Tom, I just don't want you to go on a wild goose chase to try and find something that you're not going to find.
Mm. We're grasping at straws here. We need to find something or some way to fight back this. And anything we can get on our side, I'm going to try and go for it. So that's my logic anyway. So I'll take it. All right, I'm gonna go talk to Coffee.
Okay, we'll move over to Rocket. What else? You've managed to basically. It's going to take at least a week for.
Yeah. Next port of call is with everything going on with the encroaching attacks and stuff, especially now we know about these underground portals. Is I want to send as many men as we can spare to scout out the surrounding lands and essentially try and A, identify if there are any tunnels located close to us, and B, just anything in the general surface area.
Okay. Let me check.
And in fact, as we're kind of downtiming, I'll go with some of the parties and stuff.
That changes the game completely. You can roll, go with survival check on nature, whichever you think that would help.
Well, I'm proficient in nature,
Yep,
so
go for that. It just depends. Like survival is a classic scouting mission. Send people here, people there. You meet back up. Nature, however, you're going to be using your knowledge of the countryside, a map to determine certain areas where you think there will be entrances to the Underdark. Okay.
Yep.
Is that what you're after?
I got a 19.
No, 19.
Yeah,
okay, so I keep having to change the scenes.
This is good as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, this is one moment. Okay, so yeah, you managed to basically find a few places, 3 places on the map that you are a little bit certain there might be entrances. You know for a fact there's one at the Forge, at the Stonetooth Mountains, so you've marked that off.
Mm-hmm.
You have a feeling there might be some to the east, in the hills east of your fort in Terentia. To the southeast, where there is a known cavern system.
Is that Loki Rest?
No, just to the east of Loki Rest in the hills.
Okay.
Yes, and the other you can only ever think of would be the Sunless Citadel to the north.
Okay.
Which, of course, you've been to, but you never actually saw any entrances into the Underdark.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did we come across anything at Loki Rest? Did we
are you heading down that way?
Yeah, I want to cover. Sorry, let me. I'll map for you, kind of like a little. Draw a shape. Hold Alt for circle. God. Can I move that now? I can. So yeah, I just want to kind of cover like that kind of region around Fort Aaronspire.
Okay, that's going to take quite a while, but yep.
I imagine so.
Okay,
yeah.
so Loki Rest, you find is an abandoned fortress. You've actually been there before, so you know the way.
Yeah.
The fortress is downtrodden, ruined, and when you arrive at the gates with 3 of your guards, you see the flesh golem that you'd killed there, completely pecked down to the bone by ravens. And even in its bone form, it looks gross and grotesque. You see that flesh has been picked off of its bones completely, and it reveals a large kind of ogreish type skeletal structure. As you examine the surrounding area, you find that there is another small fortress. The only reason you didn't notice it is because it's a ruined tower. It would have been one of the towers of this fortress, far to maybe a couple of 100 yards away. And you realise once you and the guards clamber through it, that there is a stairwell that leads into deep darkness.
Okay. Noted, and deal with that.
Okay,
point.
you're not going down there?
No, I mean, I'm scouting.
Okie dokie. Then that takes a day, so...
Yeah, okay. I'll return from the scouting then. I want to send 3 of the quickest guards we have to make sure they're stationed each day on these tunnels. And have we got horses or anything? Can we buy some horses if necessary? Yeah, I will invest in some horses for these guys, so if we do get any attacks coming from these locations, they can report back to the keep as quick as possible.
Samuel Yormand, the alderman, introduces you to a stable hand called Ingling, and the guy is willing to sell you. He puts it as 500 silver pieces. You know it's 50 gold. He's never seen a gold piece in his life. So he goes, it's 500 silver pieces for a strong horse, my lord.
Yes, not a problem. How many horses do you
I
have?
have a dozen at the moment. In the next couple of summers, I could have another dozen.
How much would it to see that happens?
Well, did you get the next dozen?
We want them all.
Them all!
Yes.
Then how the hell am I going to get
You
my
won't-
milk?
Buy some cattle.
What's that? You see,
Do we not have
you're
cows and
currently at
barns?
his farmstead, and you see he's got goats and horses. He goes,
Ah, your goats. Milk the goats.
but goat milk is horrible. That's how we make cheese.
How many horses can you spare? In fact,
12.
put it this way, they will not be required all at the same time, necessarily, but I want them on retainer. If we need them, we will use them. How does that sound?
Yes, my lord. Of course, of course.
Yes,
But that you want a dozen horses now?
I will take 3 now with me.
Can I interest you in some eggs? You know, by the way,
I will send someone else for
You-
the eggs, but I
with
will
your
take 3 horses
with your passive
now.
perception, you notice he doesn't have any chickens.
It's fine. I will take 3 horses now.
3.
The
He
remainder,
wasn't 4. Yeah.
I want you to know that if we need them, we will come to use them. But in the meantime, they're not being used. You may milk them. It's kind of like a little stretch goal.
milk a horse. Is that even possible?
For this, I will pay you 3,000 silver.
He goes, Marge! And you see a halfling woman comes walking out. She's got a dirtied apron, hair tied up. He's a human, and she's a halfling. He goes, this is my wife, Marge! And she just goes,
Hello, Marge.
oh, all right, sorry about my husband, he's a fucking idiot. How much silver are you willing to offer for 3 horses? What was that?
I want to take 3 horses
3
now.
horses, got it.
You will breed the remaining 9.
Of course. Well, we do have 20 horses, but yeah.
Right.
The others are currently they're too young, so he's left them out on purpose.
Very well.
12, you want 3, the rest for breeding.
We will, for breeding, and if necessary, we will want to use
Got
them.
it.
We will use
Yep.
them. For this, I will pay you 3,000 silver.
3,000 silver. Okay, that works. 3,000 silver is perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Good. Then please arrange the
Yep.
horses.
She clicks her fingers, hits her husband in the chest, and goes, "Get the boys! Saddle the horses! Our lord needs them." And within an hour, you have 3, 2 mares and a stallion, and the stallion's acting a bit up. As she brings it out, it's like, of course, like kicking and thrashing, and she immediately whispers some sweet nothings into his ear, and it calms down. She goes, "This one's a feisty one," and you see it's white-haired, and it's got one single black spot on its rump, and you can see that this thing could. You've seen this back home in Isil Capula. This thing could be bred as a warhorse.
Cool.
It's got.
I'll tie them up together and lead them back to Aaron's spawn.
Can you roll animal handling?
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask that. Oh shit.
Nice. Okay, so just before you get to Fort Ehrenspire, the stallion breaks free and runs off, and your guards go running off. The mare just looks at it curiously. The mares look at it curiously, and it runs off to the north. They go, "Don't worry, my lord. We'll catch him. We'll be right back."
Please do. I'll find our best handler.
Okay.
I'll walk in with the other ones and tie them off and try and speak to the guards and find someone who's decent in this kind of thing and see if we can get them set up as our stable master kind of thing here at the fort.
Okay. And over the next day, the guards' rota is to capture what they're now calling Oda the Hellhound. Is the stallion that is basically eluding them, beating them up. One of the guards comes back with a broken jaw, where it's kicked him. But after a 24-hour period, they've wrangled it and they've dragged it back to the stables. It takes a long time. You've got 3 injured guards. 6 of them now scared of it.
Happy days. But we're back and we've got horses.
Yes.
That's the main
Yes,
thing.
you do.
So do we have someone suitable for the job of stable master?
Otti immediately walks up to this stallion, casts a spell, and the thing just calms down.
I should really come to you for everything, shouldn't I, dear?
Yes, I did take all of the spells so I could be handy just for you, like a good wife. No, I'm good with animals, for fuck's sake. She walks up to it and begins stroking it.
Thank you, dear.
That's okay.
You've done me a great favour, I can tell you that much.
Yes.
Oh, buying these things was a nightmare.
I can imagine. He's wild. He's very wild, Dolaf. I like him.
He is wild, and his wife wasn't much better.
Fair enough.
Hold on, I seem to be getting some kind of mystical message coming through.
Your sending stone is vibrating.
Okay, so Vagor, on your journey back from the cave, you notice from very far away, there's a thin trail of black smoke piling up from one of the woods, from the canopy, and you notice that as you walk around it from a distance, you can see on a river crossing there is a bunch of people. You can't quite tell much
How far am I from Aaron?
You're about maybe half a mile, and you're uphill, so you can see the clearing. You see these stick figures going about their business.
Right.
We are back. We are back. All right.
Cool.
I am back.
All right. So yeah, Mern walks in the room.
Yes. Okay. Mern walks in the room to Arlie Aiden. Arlie Aiden, what would you have been doing the next morning?
Come to my
Yeah.
room.
Yep.
Rookie mistake. Thing he notices is sweet wrappers curled around the floor in a nice little trail leading towards Arleden's blood-stained bed.
Good God.
Whereas Arleden himself is curled around a large green glowing brain. To it, but you can't quite hear what he's saying. It speaks of whispers long past.
Yes, quite what I was expecting. That's quite a yes. Right.
I did
Good morning,
wonder
Adelaide.
when you'd want to take me to bed.
Not today, perhaps another time. But thanks for the offer. Could you just hold on, and I'll just without speaking just go over and try and cast the spells on him.
Okay. I definitely remember what that was now. That was Yep. Okay, so the first one, as you cast it on him, Arlie Aiden, you notice he's casting some spells on you. They're not harmful, but they're definitely cleric spells. How are you reacting to this?
Do I notice he's casting them
definitely,
yet?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not being secretive about it.
Your religious tripe from me, this instant cleric.
Okay, so as you cast a spell, you see it has no effect.
Right. I'm just trying to help here, then. You seem to have some moments of clarity every now and then you just fall back into this deranged state, just trying to see if I can't get you to stay in this state for...
I will flay the skin off your bones and feed it to my wall monster. You will remain here chained as a skeleton for all that own keep.
Can't happen. Sorry.
Right, but as I said, I'm just trying to help, so could you just hold still for a minute, please? And then just proceed to cast the next spell.
One.
Seems you have him charmed.
And now
With the
he's gone
curse
again!
Of internet instability.
Are you there, Todd?
I'm back
Okay,
again, please.
So Mern, the next spell just bounces harmlessly off of him, and you see some of his magical items fizzle out.
Right, well, those should be back in a minute. Never mind then. If that's not going to work, I can't help you.
Leaving, man.
What?
Several games to play, you and I. Several unfinished games. Don't you remember when you pushed me off a cliff?
I do,
Oops.
and you deserved it as well.
When you led my mother to her death?
Well, that was mostly you, wasn't it?
You attacked the rat bard!
Uh-huh. And he just starts walking off.
Okay.
As long
Oh,
as you're in the car.
we're getting some major robotic voices.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out there, Todd.
He said sleep with one eye open so long as you stay in this castle.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, he just ignores you and walks off. It's like, yeah, whatever, it's
Okay,
fine.
so Ali Aiden, what were you actually
I mean, kebab.
what were you actually doing in the next day or two? I mean, actually, Tumble comes to visit you during the day as well, later that evening.
I've come because I can't believe I'm going to say this. I want to try croaking thrice to summon your friend.
To the right place, Tantor. I knew you'd come round.
All right, show me the way.
Would you like to spend some time admiring this wooden carving made of you?
Sorry.
Now
You
he's
really went
really
with the wooden carving of what? Of a frog? Did you
I
say?
don't know. It was so funny.
Oh my god, that was so good. Like,
I think what he said was, "Admire my wooden carving of a frog."
yes. All right, I'll sit down next to the frog.
Todd.
God damn it,
It's dead, Jim.
Arlene. Hello. He's just trancing out.
Yep.
Yep, he's gone. Okay, well, I'll just do as he says, I guess, and sit down next to the frog. Admire. Is there anything magical about it?
Currently, no. It's
Okay.
just like a toy.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an investigation, see if there's any, like,
Okay.
17.
17. Okay, so you take a look around it. You realise there's a button on the back. And you
Oh,
start to
really?
realise you don't recognise how this got here. You've been here all the time
No.
Ali Aiden has got here, and you don't know how this idol has managed to get here.
Sure.
Sorry again, Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'll press the button.
You press the button. Okay, so Ali Aiden. You there?
Back yet.
I was admiring your frog idol, and then I found a button on it and I pressed it.
Okay, so the eyes light up to a kind of ghastly green. That's it.
Wow.
You realise that there's probably like some sort of magical artifact in there that glows, and that when you press the button, it removes the cover of the eyes, so you just can see inside.
Is this just a night light, or are we supposed to do something here? Arlene.
Use it to read by, or you can use it to croak thrice.
Alright. Do you want to demonstrate just how we croak?
Shh, 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 Tantor, shh. The croak must come from within you, not from one other.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Do you want to try it, Tumble?
I'll close my eyes and in my head try to visualize a great bullfrog, and it's croaking loudly, but it's also kind of got the face of me.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm
Yes.
imagining
You can
this.
either do me a favour and roll performance or arcana. It's totally up to you.
I'll do Arcana, but
Perform it live.
yeah, but it's gonna be from within.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm imagining this tumble-faced bullfrog croaking, and well, I got a 15.
Okay, so you do this, and Ali Aiden. Yes, you there? You
Yeah.
notice that Tumble is doing his best to do what you said, but nothing is happening.
Tantor. Some of us just don't have the talent.
I don't know what you want me to do. I just... Yeah.
Get out of my way, and I will consider not returning you to the wastes. And our leader will croak thrice, but we all know this is a luck game.
Roll a con. Tumble's actually got more than you, so he should have.
I rolled a 6 though.
Ooh, we like all.
Okay,
We're waiting for the roll. Would you like to spend a sorcery point?
Hang on, did it come
Yeah,
through?
it did. We saw you rolled a 15.
I'll spend a sorcery point.
Okay, so you spend a sorcery point. Tumble, you notice that Arliaden croaks thrice and turns, and there's a voice that echoes out of the actual wooden frog, and it goes.
What?
It just says, "Arliaden, you are in need."
Lord.
Arliaden, speak to me.
A subordinate who seeks your aid.
What do you require of me? Quick.
Tantor. Oh no, sorry.
No.
He would address you by name now, Tumble.
Oh, right. I'm like, wow, you actually know my name, my actual name. I mean, listen, we just fought against Angai, the Void Red Rider.
Oh no!
Yeah, we need help.
I'm afraid
We need a way of... You know about the Void. You taught Arleden everything he knows,
yes,
right?
Yes, of course, I did, but I'm very busy right now.
Where are you? We'll come to you.
Okay, well, this is a little bit more difficult. You must listen to me. You must listen to me carefully, Tumble. Because your life may depend upon it.
Okay.
You must find a pond.
What?
You must find a frog or a toad.
Check.
You must turn thrice and croak.
Fucking hell.
And then you hear, I did it. Good, well, Arliaden, I did it well. Does he look annoyed? I can't see him.
Looks perfectly exasperated.
I did it exactly as you said. Is he? He must be really annoyed. Okay, now down to serious business, Tumble.
The fate of the world is in our hands, and we need to fight it back against this void. And you're telling me to pick up some frogs.
Yes, that was a joke, but if you can't take jokes, Tumble, then I don't think I wish to do business with you.
Oh, I get it. It's quite funny
yes,
now.
it's good funny, isn't it?
It was hilarious. Now, can we get back on track?
Yes.
Do you know anything about the void and how to... Well, where are you anyway?
Me? I'm in the void.
Yeah.
Tell him a bit about the nether region.
How the hell are you alive inside that?
Because of magic, Tumble. Look, I did give Dolaf a way to get to me. Perhaps you should speak to him.
I don't think he knows about
Well,
it.
he should.
Tell you the story about the Randy
Oh,
Walrus.
that's a good story, Arladen. You should come to my sanctum and tell me it. Perhaps we shall, do what we usually do.
I can't wait.
Excellent.
Yeah, listen. Are you actually going to be useful? We need to find a way how to put these things down for real. Like, they keep coming
I can
back.
help, but seriously, I don't have enough power to come to you at the moment.
That's why I suggest we come to you, right? So what is this thing that Dolaf has?
Well, it's
Just
the
tell me.
wedding gift.
Oh my god, really?
Yes. Well, I did tell you. I told him.
Okay,
He said, when you wish to escape the tiredness of this world, you come through here, and you'll escape from everyone.
It was quite clear, actually, yeah.
Alright, we're coming to you. Just don't... Stay put,
I
okay?
can't go anywhere, and if I step outside, I'd die. Wouldn't I,
Can we
Arliaden?
pull you-
This elephant is quite stupid.
Can we pull you back from the void, or is that even a safe
I can't
option?
spend too much time out there.
Okay.
All you need
Anyway.
to do is also, if you wish to know more about me, is ask Lord Aaronspire. And I don't mean the young one.
His
Of
father.
course, I trained him too.
That's the funniest joke you've told all day.
But it is true.
Okay, well, stay put. We'll come to you.
Okay.
At least
I look forward to the visit. And then before he disappears in the glow disc, goes, I'll see you soon, my love. I love you.
Ah.
And then the light goes out.
What? You two...
Exactly what you needed, Tantor.
I'm not gonna ask. Anyway, yeah, I'll leave you back to whatever it was you was doing. I look around the room, see all the like wrappers of sweet. What the?
Okay, so the next couple of days, because it's been 3 days of downtime. Ollie Aiden,
Yeah.
what are you doing with your 3rd day? And don't you dare text me.
Give me 2. Well,
Oh, he gone.
Well, that answers that question.
All right. Well, in this time, I'll talk to Dolaf. Okay. Apparently, you got a wedding gift from Big B. Do you remember what it was?
Of course I do. I spent my honeymoon there.
I'm
Alright,
back.
cool. We'll deal with you in a minute.
Okay, because apparently it's also a way to get to him in the void itself.
That makes little sense to me, I must admit.
What
It
is
was,
it?
well, from my limited knowledge, it was almost like a demiplane. A very nice place. It had a large mansion. It's where we spent our time.
Okay, you didn't meet Big B in there while you're there?
No, it was me and Ottie alone.
Oh god, maybe he has a few holes in the wall. Alright, well, we're gonna go back there, I think, because that's apparently where he is. I just spoke to Big B, literally through a talking statue of a frog in Arleden's room. Yeah, I think I'm going
I'd
crazy too.
like to say I'm surprised, but that sounds about par for the course.
Uh-huh. Well, I got a direct, communication to him, and he said that's what actually he would give you if you ever needed him, so... Yeah, we probably need him about now. He also
neglected
taught your
to mention
father...
that part, but we can certainly try. As I say, I don't recall ever seeing anything there that would be of any use whatsoever, but...
I've probably got a more keen eye. I'll have a look around there.
Sure.
Sure, okay, well... you can go back to Arleden if you want.
I'm going to actually go back to Vagor, I'm afraid. So, because, Vagor, you had seen these people in the crossing as you were heading back. They're very close to Fort Spire. And as you get closer, you can make a perception check if you want to make out any more details.
Yeah, I think now that will make it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay, you notice that they've got a wagon of sorts, a campfire, and one of them is filling up water from the nearby river. That's it. Stream, really, not the river.
alright. And that's what the smoke was coming from.
Yeah, the campfire.
Yeah.
But you don't know who they are, what they're doing in Olaf's lands.
Yeah, no, but with that I'll head back to
Yeah.
the fort and just...
Okay, so, Ollie Aiden, you are here. What are you doing on your 3rd day? Let's see how this goes. See if we can get a full sentence out of you.
Arleden is going to head down to the guard room. Guard,
Sorry?
and spend pretending to be Oscar.
Okay, can you roll performance?
Who's
He's one of the guards. He's memorised his name. Look.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you are not doing a good performance of Oscar. At all.
On performance is his
Yeah.
thing. He's got to have advantage. He's got the guard clothes on.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Yeah, you get dressed in the guard clothes, you begin acting as Oscar. Everyone believes you for a little bit. Even Foxfire walks up and goes, alright, Oscar, so Lord Dolos has sent us out on a scout mission to look for a horse. Are you coming?
Yeah, I'll be there in a second. It's been a long time since I've been stretching my legs outside the old fortress.
Yeah,
you know?
alright. How are you feeling? You were pretty hungover this morning.
You know me.
Yeah, alright, cool. Anyway, this horse is a bitch. We're calling it the Hellhound. Make sure you got your lasso ready, son. We're going to town. And the elf Foxfire walks off.
Foxfire, I heard Camille might be tapping Earlish Guard. I knew you guys were close.
He goes, what? Wait a minute. He's going to roll perception. Oh, brilliant shit. Oh, no, doesn't. He's got perception +2. Fuck yeah. No, he goes, Oscar, you're acting a bit strange. Pull down your hood.
Sorry, jammed it to my face. It's empty. I need to visit that strange warden.
Yeah, okay, so I didn't get anything of that at all. Oscar, seriously, come on, this horse is a bitch. We need to get it.
Lead the way, Foxfire.
Okay, so can you roll animal handling, Ollie Aiden?
Oh my god, it turns out it's Arlene who gets the horse there. It's so good.
Christ.
All fails.
One of these days, spend my downtime doing something productive.
It was Ollie. So Ollie Aiden, as you pretend to be Oscar, you actually get a lasso around this hellhound stallion, jump on it, manage to calm it down with your some crazy babbling, and bring it back. And all the while, you did a 7-hour stunt as Oscar while Oscar's sleeping in the infirmary.
Oh my god. Fucking
Yeah.
day.
So you've managed to successfully act like Oscar all the way through the 3rd day. Just as Vagar turns up and walks through the fortress doors.
Yeah, and I'll go and find Doleth.
Doleth, I'm going to say that you all meet up for dinner and in the war room.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner in the war room?
Oh no, upstairs in the actual. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Dining room.
Leave the confines of my room.
Right. There's been some progress on the armor you've asked for, and I'll put some things in the loot bag.
Okay, cool.
That's good to know. From the sounds of it, we could have many men coming.
And Ottie leans in and goes, "That's what she said," and then sits down to eat.
What the shit?
I've been focusing on quality over quantity so far. You said weapons. Do you want armor for them as well?
I think that would be best. I mean, I understand you're only one man, but in your own time, we would like to try and equip everyone. Also, to make you aware, we do have 8 Duergar as well. You're probably better suited to their form in terms of measurements, but we could do with stuff for them too.
Right, and what do you want the Duergar and the rest of them equipped with? Do you just want, like, chain shirts? Do you want full chainmail? What is it you're after?
Full plate.
Whatever you can deal with most efficiently, I suppose, man. Chainmail sounds reasonable. I believe the Duergar had weapons, but I'm not sure if they wear armor.
Yeah, they did have some. They did have some studded leather.
It could do with an improvement, I think.
Right, well, I'll speak to them and see what each of them prefers and give them the choice of either chainmail or chain shirts. That's easy enough to make.
It sounds like a fine idea to me.
Okay, so you settle down for some food. The servants, the meager servants, there's not many, bring you an actual healthy and hearty meal of starters of broth, and then you've got some of the local rice and grains. You're also given a dessert. It's basically a lemon sugar cake that Ottie helped bake. But as she goes to feed it to you, she quickly prestidigitates a new flavour on top of it and then puts it down. Because it's delicious, don't worry, I did try.
I trust your judgment.
Yes, and occasionally, because it only lasts for like a minute, she keeps doing it. She keeps prestidigitating new flavours on top. She walks around.
While we're all here, I've been doing some scouting recently. I don't know if you recall the place to the south where the flesh golem was, but I found a tower there close by. There's potentially a tunnel that leads that way. I'd quite like to scout it out at some point, and if any of you would be willing to accompany me, then, well, you're free to.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll join you.
On the topic of scouting, I did find that there were some people pretty close within confines of our land. A caravan. Some people to the east of here.
Do you know who they were? Traders? Merchants?
I did not go to investigate. It would have taken me as long to get there as it would have taken me to get back here. I thought it best to report to you. This is your land, after all.
Yes, well, thank you, Vagor. I'll send some guards out to have a look. Would you care to join us? To the south?
I could, yes. I had an interesting conversation, but, well, that's not one for over dinner. It might take some time.
Very well.
Tumble, you going to tell him what you found out?
I mean, I've already told Mern. He wasn't much help. So I'll be talking more about... Right, it seems Bigby is trapped in the void, and the only way to get to him is using... apparently the wedding gift that was given to Dolaf.
It was a mirror, right? If
It
I
was
recall.
a mirror, a 6 foot by 3 foot mirror.
Yeah.
I say we investigate this other world. Maybe he's... Wait a minute. You say it's a mansion?
Yes, it was, it was a fertile land, a mansion situated in the middle, and that's where we spent our honeymoon.
With my knowledge of Arcana, which I'm now quite proficient in, do I understand the spell that this is?
You want to roll? You're not quite sure, but you have an inkling. Something to do with...
Because he told me that, I said, how is he surviving in the void? And he told me he's using magic. And that was all I'm kind of like getting an idea, maybe, that he's used a spell.
Yeah, definitely. You get an idea that he's using some sort of private sanctum spell.
Right, yeah, that's what I thought as much. Okay. So, I suggest we have a little look around in there. Bigby actually might be in that domain.
Please, it'll be hilarious. I want you to go to Bigby's mansion. But, if you want to go to Loki Rest instead, so it will be by me.
The mansion should just be a quick thing. Plus, the mirror's right here, right? So
I would like to head to Loki Rest, to be honest. It concerns me with its proximity to the fort. Whereas I feel we face no dangers from a mirror.
no, but Bigby is an ally in our quest against the void, right? He could help us.
Potentially.
It's only a mansion. How hard can it be to search?
I didn't honestly spend much time searching there, I'll admit.
No, Dolaf, when you were there, it was, I believe, when you first entered, there was like a bath ready for you. You and Otti bathed, and then you went into the mansion and you spent your time there. If you remember correctly, most of the stuff was magically locked, and you were given like use of most of the good facilities around the mansion. But why, when you explored, you and Otti were bewildered by the fact that quite a lot of the place was locked away from you?
Fair enough.
Like, the unseen servants seemed to serve you delicious foods every morning, night, stuff like that, and it was nice.
Well, I neglect this information because I'm kind of firmly set on Loki Rest at the moment.
Well, before you guys head out, mind if I have a look in there? With your permission, of course. It's your mirror.
I mean, I feel like if we're going to go meet this man, it's probably best we do it together. It's not far travel to Loki Rest. Are you unwilling to come?
I'll come to both, but I assure you I could just whip around this mansion in no time and find him.
You'll understand better when we get there. I hope.
It's fine. So, are you letting Tumble go?
I'm letting him leave the table if he wants to.
Okay.
I asked for permission to use his mirror. So.
Yeah, I know. I answered that. I said, I feel it would be best if we all went together after Loki Rest.
This tunnel is going to lead into the Underdark, and it's going to go into the Beyond. There's going to be... this isn't just a little cave you're talking about. The Underdark is full of mines. It's where I come from, the Duaga, and then eventually you're going to get to the capital with Ileana.
Correct, which is why we're not going to go that far. We're going to close it.
Please tell me he wasn't just talking about his own ass crack then.
That actually gets a laugh out of it.
You're just gonna close it. Well, then just take a few sticks of dynamite and blow the place up.
What?
But that just gets rid of our entire way into the Underdark in the first place.
I have found other places. I have guards there. As I say, I just feel this is too close to home. We have an ally in Torrent to the east, but this is right on our backs at the moment, and I don't want to be fighting a war on two fronts. That is something we cannot deal with right now.
Fine. I go get my pack with the alchemist's fire in it. And I take a shit ton of gunpowder from the... Have we got any gunpowder? Okay, well, I'll make some.
Thank you, Tumble. I do appreciate it. I mean, I understand you have your talents, and I'm sure you can whip round these places pretty quick, but I've spent my time in war, and it's not something I want to deal with now. So, the safer I can make our fort, the better it will be for all of us.
Okay. I'm gonna take can we take an hour before we leave?
Yeah, sure.
Of course. I mean, we won't leave until the morning.
Jesus. Right, in that case, I'm going to take a short rest to try and make a trap. It's going to be like an explosive trap that I can either apply to the foundations of this cave entrance
and blow roll
it
your
up.
tools, and then depending on what the trap you make,
Yeah.
I will...
You did say it was dinner about 9 o'clock.
Natural 20.
Natural 20?
Yeah. Fucking and it's
Okay, you can create a
29.
deadly trap. Okay, so...
Sweet.
What are you trying to build here? Are you trying...
I'm going to put together with the alchemist's fire. I'm going to use some, obviously, like a fuse to like light this thing. So probably like I could actually use some oil as well.
You go.
Why not? We could add some oil into this. Obviously, something to hold the bottles, everything together like a net. And I just wanted to have like a big blast radius that can shatter rock enough to like blow this thing up.
So I'm going to give you an ultimatum here. You can have a large blast radius, and it does little damage, or you can have a very condensed radius that does a fuck ton of damage, which is better for structural damage.
Okay, I'll ask Dolaf how big the tunnel was. Was it a large one or a small one? Like, how big was the entrance?
It seemed to be a stairwell, so of the kind of size over there, and I point on
5
over
to
to
10
the
feet?
stairs over there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so will 10 feet be a big enough radius for like the short?
A 10-foot radius will create an 8d10 double damage to structures.
Yeah, that's what I'll do then. Sweet. Yeah, that's the one I'll be
So it's a
making.
10-foot radius.
Yep.
And it'll deal 8d10 to people inside that, dexterity half, of course. It'll also
And then
double damage
the
to structures. It's a small, very condensed alchemist explosion.
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah, you put this on a door and it's going to blow it open, type thing.
Yeah. All right. After everyone's finished their meal, I'll present this thing.
Okay,
To them.
it looks haphazard as fuck. It looks like something a goblin from World of Warcraft would create, but you know it's going to be good.
This was one of the good ones we used to make back in the tunnels. If the Duergar ever came through the maze, like labyrinth, we'd place one of these near the entrance. They never made it through.
It looks remarkable, but could we have less explosives at the table, please, Tommy?
Oh, right. I'll keep away from the candles. Whoops. All right, well, it's good to go whenever you need it.
Well, as I say, we'll set off in the morning.
All right.
You'll excuse me, I'll retire for the night.
Yes, he will, as
Stand
Artie
up
leads
and-
you off.
Shrug.
Okay, so of course everyone gets the benefit of long rest again, and this is where we will end the session. I know. Sorry, Todd, that you kept disconnecting and things.
It's not your fault. It's Discord's. It really did screw me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're into
Maybe from now on you should go round to Rocket's place and just
I've suggested
do it
this.
from the front room.
I might give it a go. Yeah, it just means a little bit of travelling, but that's not a huge issue.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop.
Like my fuses, like I like my women, Corky. Short, hot, and ready to blow.
Okay, I'm going to end it on that.